I rank where the view is nothing less than phenomenal. For how I express and project from my abdominal. The only view better, both my daddy and my mama know. No living parents, my sons give me balance. My wife is my serenity, this mic is my identity. The world is foul enough, that's why I write without obscenities. Provoking danger with broken language and spoken anguish. Begging to get hurt, why would you ask to go through changes? Yes, Lord, life's a chessboard, master the angles. Control the tempo, be the one who holds the info. Acknowledge is just as deadly as machete swings. When spoken, the truth is as potent as that Medellin. While others swear the style is free, I just let it ring. Our time is undervalued, soldiers make us better kings. My family's on my shoulder, reaching after better things. Today I take the shot, for them I'd rather set the screen.
My mama told me follow my dreams. My daddy told me get it by any means. Stand tall, make him bow to a king. But I've evolved, you can see the result. Look in my eyes when you speaking to God.
Life and for those who be caught up in using what I was called with the muse. I guess they call it proving I'm more than an artist. Penciling out my darkest while stenciling out a harvest. And storing what gets me from A to B just like garages. Instrumental with collages. Envision what I've been drawing. Broadway to give you rhythm like the great Lena on. So bent on, found comfort in the storm. Find peace and on when you see them others perform. Organized chaos, outcasted like hey ya.
Yo, party people in the place to be. What's good? It's the number one Chief Rocket Knicks Universe. Your main man's Uncle Freezy. Welcome to the Knicks Morning Drive. Welcome. Sorry about running late, man. I was at Vibes and stuff with Chuck Allen, man, chopping it up. This morning show go all overtime, man. My bad, y'all. I'm sorry. My apologies. My apologies, man. What it is, man, I love rocking with y'all so much. Like, sometimes I get caught up in the moment. I ain't even gonna lie. I just get caught up. I just get caught up in the moment, man. You know what I'm saying? Like, you start talking about something, and then before you know it, you be like, oh, dog it. Over here bumping my gums, man. Now it's supposed to be somewhere else. Man, listen, man. Sorry about that, y'all. I'll try not to do that again. Sammy White, what's good? Keith Turner's in the building. Chef NYK, what's good? Andrew College is in the building. Subliminal 209, what's good? What's good? Julian Blum. What's good, y'all? Ron, what's good? Still Knicks fans is in the building. Still Knicks fan says, I need some stuff to happen already. I'm trying to figure out what I'm going to be talking about for tonight's NBA report. I bet you it's going to be Donovan Mitchell, bro. I bet you it's going to be Donovan Mitchell. Tough Love is in the building. Pudge Nice. Mr. Chill, what's good? Almighty Finesse is in the building. Yankee Forever, what's good? Salute. And the chat. What's good? Soul Finger is in the building. What's good? What's good, man? What's good? It's good to see y'all, man. Good to be with y'all. Jet Life for life. What's good? What's good, y'all? Yo, let me do. Y'all want this party started right? Y'all want this party started quickly, right? Let's set it off. Blue tears, orange tears, Blorange tears. Bim. All right. Throw your hands in the air and wave them like you just don't care. And if you got some loot and a stick of juicy fruit, somebody say, oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Scream. What's good? What's good, y'all? Is that my dog in the background?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's my dog in the background. That's Gaston. That's not Benny. That's Gaston. Gaston, he's the reserved one. He's the softy, right? Yo, let me start with a quote by the great American poet Prodigy. And listen, I'm quoting Prodigy because if the Knicks get Donovan Mitchell, only this quote would be appropriate. The great American poet Prodigy says, there's a war going on outside no man is safe from. You can run, but you can't hide forever from these streets that we done took. You walk around with your head down, scared to look. You shook, because ain't no such things as halfway crooks. Right? Right? Man, I love rocking with y'all, man. I love rocking with y'all, man. Y'all the greatest. Man, listen, man. I know y'all think, some people think this is about me. Man, this ain't about me. This is about y'all. It's about me coming in here rocking with y'all. Let me quote the great American poet Grand Puba, because what he says summarizes how I feel about y'all, right? And what we doing. Grand Puba says, now a lot of people think this is easy as it looks. Books and books of rhyme concepts and hooks. Session to get thoughts manifested. Stressing and stressing to hit the world with a blessing. Bim! There we go. There we go. There we go. Yo, y'all want this party started right. Y'all want this party started quickly. Right? Set it off. Let's go. Let's go. Right? The mic messing up, man. Hold on. Am I going to have to buy another microphone? There we go. There we go. Yo, y'all know I try to play this thing down the middle, right? I try to play this thing down the middle, right? I try to play this thing down the middle because y'all don't need people playing either sides to invoke some type of emotional response. Right? This is the thing. None of us need somebody coming here playing one side or the other to evoke some type of emotional response from fans that are prone to emotional responses. What I am here to say, though, is that adding Donovan Mitchell to this roster is a plus. And I'm saying this straight down the middle. I'm not on the he's too short side, or I'm not gonna say he's gonna win you a championship side. What I am gonna bring to the table is some neutral thoughts from a fan that should not be neutral. As a fan, it should not be neutral. As a fan, I should elicit emotional thoughts and responses to the potential of my team going one way or the other. Right? But here's me being right down the middle of the road. Donovan Mitchell is a 3-time All-Star. Donovan Mitchell is a 25, 26 point per game scorer. Right? Donovan Mitchell at this time is 25 years old. Right? Here's some other things. Here's some other things too. For those that don't like Donovan Mitchell just because of the price that you'll have to pay for him, easy, calm down. Right? Because you want to point to the Carmelo Anthony trade, a trade where you gave away crumbs. The best player out of that deal was a dude named Doug McDermott or Danilo Gallinari, depending on how you feel. The best players out of that deal was Doug McDermott and Danilo Gallinari. Right? And see, look at this. This is what I mean. Like, he like the kid that want the new toy just because it's new. No, that's not. See, I didn't say that I didn't say right then. I didn't say I wanted Donovan Mitchell. I said I was going straight down the middle, and I named facts. So if you negative for Mitchell, anything that I say that's neutral is going to look overtly positive. And if you positive for Mitchell, anything I say in the middle is going to look overtly negative. It's the tug of war. It's the tug of war. It's the reason why I said there's a war going on outside no man is safe from. You can run, but you can't hide forever from these streets that we done took. You walk around with your head down, scared to look. You shook because there ain't no such things as halfway crooks. It's the reason why I say that, because depending on what side you are on, anything neutral or beyond looks the opposite. I just mentioned that. All I mentioned was facts. Donovan Mitchell is a 25, 26 point per game scorer. That's a fact. Donovan Mitchell is a 3-time All-Star. That's a fact. That's not conjecture. Those are facts. Ladies and gentlemen of the jury, what I just stated to you are facts. These things actually happened. I didn't say, oh, Quentin Grimes might average 15 points a game this year. I didn't say that. That right there is not a fact. That is conjecture. Quentin Grimes right now is a 6 point per game scorer. 6. In 17 minutes a game, he averaged 6. 17 minutes a game, he averaged 6 points per game. Quentin Grimes is a 68% free throw shooter. That's a fact. If you're positive for Grimes, it sounds like I'm hating. Right? And if you're negative for Grimes, it sounds like I'm being too positive. These are facts. Quentin Grimes, well, this is, and so I use Grimes right there as an example, right? But Donovan Mitchell played on a team that had the 9th best defensive rating with a guy in Luka Doncic, who one would say is, now this is opinion, that one would say is maybe not a good defender. And East Blue Drew is trolling y'all. He's like, yeah, you hating, bro. You can't hit him with facts. You can't hit him with facts because they'll say you hating. Nah, man, I'm just stating the facts. Donovan Mitchell is a 3-time All-Star. Donovan Mitchell averaged 25 points a game. Those are facts. Those are facts. Donovan Mitchell played on a team that had the 9th best defensive rating. Tied with the Knicks. Tied with the Knicks. Mr. Vince is in the building. What's good? Keith Turner says Brunson will retire a Knick. He's built for it. He ain't going anywhere. Right. We don't want him to go anywhere either. We don't want him to go anywhere either. Right. Yeah, we don't want him to go anywhere, bro. We want to keep Brunson around for a long time. At least right now. At least right now, we want to keep him around for a long time. Not Zay says people talk about Grimes like he untouchable. Sean Connery said it best. Sean Connery was in a movie called The Untouchables, and Sean Connery said, "Yes, but everyone is touchable." That's my Sean Connery impersonation, ladies and gentlemen. Get it up for Uncle Freezy. Sean Connery said, "Yes, but everyone is touchable." Give it up for Sean Connery. Jay Boogie says, good morning, blessings, health, safety, all my brothers and sisters around the world, rocking this orange and blue. What a beautiful day of life to be yourself. Flowers, 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 roses, 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 salute, salute, salute. 3 capital S's, them. Let me put this thing in. Let me put this thing in there. I don't know why I put my battle cap on this morning. I just wanted to switch up the hats and stuff. Because that orange hat is my lucky hat, bro. I've been wearing that lucky hat because I feel like we're gonna pull off a move. But I just decided to wear a different hat. So hopefully it won't affect. Hopefully changing hats won't affect the vibes and stuff. Like hopefully changing hats won't impact the vibes and stuff. A lot of things happened overnight. A lot of rumors. The rumor mill was churning hard last night. The Knicks are engaged with the Utah Jazz over Donovan Mitchell. The Knicks are engaged with the Utah Jazz over Donovan Mitchell. A lot of pundits are saying a deal is imminent. A deal with the Utah Jazz is imminent. Right? So Ron from Steel Knicks fan says, I tell you one thing, if the Knicks trade for Donovan Mitchell and Quentin Grimes is the main piece in the trade, Uncle Freezy better never refer to him as a ham sandwich again. Oh, he's a ham sandwich until proven otherwise. Don P, what's good, bro?
Yeah, what's good? Let me turn my TV down for a minute, man. I like that hand sandwich joke, bro.
Yeah, man. Yeah, man.
You know how I feel about Jalen Brunson, though.
Yeah, man. I think I like Brunson right now. I think I like Brunson.
Hey, but as far as this whole Donovan Mitchell trade thing, man, my only question is this, and I'm trying to push all of my emotions to the side for a minute. Why now? Why the sense of urgency right now to make a move?
Okay. Great question. What's your answer to it though?
See, that's the thing. It's not a question to prove a point. It's more so of just a general question. My statement, if somebody was to ask me that question, I would say, well, we wouldn't have to do it right now because the office is trying to sell us on a youth movement type of deal.
Right.
And yeah, you say you've been through a lot of youth movements as you know, as a Knicks fan, but have we moved 100% into the youth movement, or have we always just blown it up when we always see an opportunity to blow it up, or when somebody becomes available?
So your question, your initial question, is deceptive, but I feel like not intentionally. Right? Like I feel like the question could go either way. Because you asked the question, is it for information gathering purposes, or is it a question that's asked in wonderment?
No, like
Right?
I genuinely want to know, like, if this, what is something that I don't know that most people know when it comes to making a deal right now for Donovan Mitchell? Is
So
it
but you mentioned something. You also mentioned, like you said, you thought we were going to do a youth movement, right?
right?
Well, Donovan Mitchell is 25. He's not 30 or 35.
But I get that, but we're trading away a lot of young pieces to get him.
Right.
Like
But we don't.
Donovan,
But you don't. But you don't know that though. You could be trading old pieces too. You could be
I,
trading Rolls and Fournier.
I would say this: Donovan Mitchell is better than anybody on our roster. You know what I mean? I'm not going to dispute that.
Right.
I don't think his impact on the team is going to be that much more than X, Y, and Z combined. That's my take.
Okay.
So,
Let me ask you this, and this question is not say deceptive. It's because I want to go somewhere with you. I just want to know what you're thinking first, though. When's the last time the Knicks had a shooting guard that averaged 25 points a game?
You said what?
When's the last time the Knicks had a shooting guard that averaged 25 points a game?
I can't think of one.
Never.
Not
I don't remember.
And I don't even think Allen Houston averaged 25 points per game.
Nah, Allen Houston only averaged 20 points a game. I
Yeah,
think
I
four
figured
times,
as much.
three times, I think. But it's not because Houston couldn't score. It was because of the Knicks' pace of play.
Right. I guess I'm piggybacking off of what Ghetto Intellect was talking about yesterday, and I understood his frustrations yesterday. But I guess the question I asked is genuinely like, yo, is this the best we could do right now, or is it the fact that the chips that we do have will have less value next season? Is that what it is, or the chips that we do have is at its most valuable right now? That's what I'm asking. Like, why don't we have a sense of urgency to do this right now?
Why are you scared right now?
No, I wouldn't say scared. I'm a spades player. I play chess. I play a lot of strategy games. I never had a yo just put all my chips in or show my hand and hope for the best. I've never been that type of dude.
Okay.
You can't hold your joker to the end and bump heads with your partner.
Yeah.
That's true, but that's true. I get that. In certain situations, I get that. But with all the assets that we have right now, it's like we're holding a handful of spades, straight spades. Why are we cashing that all in right now?
Because they low spades. Because these dudes are low spades, bro. It's gonna take, and using your analogy, it's gonna take you cutting very early for those low spades to actually cash out. Like, them low spades ain't gonna be books unless when you dealt, you got like 2 hearts, 2 diamonds, and a club. Everything else is spades.
I wanted to ask a question in reference to what's good though, y'all. Salute.
Good morning.
What's good, everybody? Salute to the chat.
What's up?
What's good,
Hard?
Salute. P was good. Salute. Who's that down there? Chuck?
Yes, sir.
Yo, what's good, bro?
That's Charles Smith, bro. You can't
what's
say that's
good,
Charles
bro?
Smith.
I ain't know he changed his picture. Chuck was good, bro. Now, I just wanted to say, I think I said it before, but I think this is important, that these opportunities ain't always going to come. And I was going to say to you, do you think Donovan was already on the radar before? Because I've heard us mention it before. Do you think that?
Yes.
So if that's the case, and then they got a good opportunity, if they don't pull it off, that's the worst type of scrutiny that they could ever have, if you ask me. Because you gambling all the picks, you putting on a gamble on picks and players, and we know we could at least get something valuable with him that we don't always see come. And if you say you don't see a player that we haven't had in a while, and I always ask that question, even when I compare to RJ and certain things, and we can't second guess when you can't even think of a player that ever been on our team like that. You know what I mean? So that helps you figure that out. And I think when people say talent can't play together, and you see the league is talented, there's a lot of players on every team. They got to learn how to play together. I think if someone was to say it's going to take a little bit of time for them to gel, and that's with any team, that's fair to say. But I think it'll definitely work as far as us being able to compete. If we was able to pull that off without losing RJ, especially, that's serious in my opinion.
Right.
So, can I respond to that? I would say
Sure.
that I disagree with the notion that we don't always, those opportunities don't always come amiss. The opportunities don't ever come for us is because we never have the chips. We never have the trade assets to trade for anybody. We always have the opportunity per se, but we just never had the chips or the assets to trade
You can't,
to get.
but you can't have an opportunity if you don't have the chips. That's like window shopping.
Right.
Now, I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about like the front office been stockpiling for this reason, and now the opportunity is here, right? When you think you were saying they got to do something, not just saying UP in general. When you listen to the show and you listen to people, they saying like they got to make a move. We got to do something. Even when we just got Brunson, and I know you didn't even want Brunson. And when you said that, I was shocked about that because why you don't want Brunson? Like, it's nobody on this team blocking these type of guys' level of play right now.
Right now.
And when you coaching or you involved with the team or you covering the team, you can see that just knowing players. And when you betting on players that have potential to be better than players that they're not better than right now, that's more of a long shot.
Right.
So if you say that they aiming for specific players, then I get what you're saying. I thought they was stockpiling draft picks for any general star.
Maybe.
Nah,
I'm not saying I'm
Don
right.
P. Don P. It's. I wish I had a chess player in here. Anybody in here play chess?
I play chess.
Because so first of all, I'll bust y'all open. I play ghetto style chess. I'll bust y'all open right now, bro.
What the dude said in Fresh? Put the clock on in behind.
Yeah, no, but for real though, for real. So the first chess move, right, was showing Donovan Mitchell unconditional love, right? Now, and I know this, because listen, I'm in sales. I have a sales background. I know these things, right? I know
we can
how
tell,
to.
Freezy. You're an expert.
Yeah, when the Knicks go to a playoff game, think about how strategic this is. The Knicks go to a playoff game that features both the guys that they want. Think about that.
It changed the narrative. You actually got to give them guys credit if they pull that off. And we've been saying something like that. So we got to fall back. If they can pull that off, if you ask me, that's
right.
major.
And they go to a playoff game. The Dallas Mavericks are mad because they show up at a game that they ain't even playing. They sitting courtside like, yeah, we want you. We can't say it out loud, but body language tell it. You know what I'm saying? Randall is like, I'm recruiting you, but I'm not. I can't say that I am. I'm saying I'm in my hometown minding my business, but I'm here to see you, right? And all the other stuff that go with the signing his father as a coach, all that stuff. That's a convenient coincidence, right? Rick Brunson being an NBA assistant, getting a job with the team that brought him into the league. His sons are free. All of that is a convenient coincidence, right? In my opinion. But the fact that you sent Julius Randle to a playoff game in his hometown, and he like, and I know people don't like Randle, but just hear me out on this, right? And you got the other guy on the other side who you heard wants to get back to the East Coast, right? And him and his organization ain't seeing eye to eye. You know what I'm saying? The coach is a grinder. They just changed ownership. The new owner is trying to woo him over. They got a lot of stuff going on. You know what I'm saying? The dude that plays center, that get all the love, they get all this love because he a goofball. Listen, Rudy Gobert does have a fun-loving personality, and people that are serious, they can't really stand that because that's not their cup of tea. But for the most part, everybody that's neutral, but like, man, he just messing, he just playing, he just joking or whatever, right? And so you got that guy over there looking at you woo a free agent, right? And then like and Donovan Mitchell come over, hey man, what y'all doing here? We just coming to the game, bro. We just checking out the game, right? Then the draft comes, right? The draft comes, and the front office trades the number 11 pick and other stuff to get more assets, right? And so Knicks fans are thinking like, why did they said this was a youth movement? Why didn't they just draft a player right there? They could have developed him alongside Grimes and McBride and Cam Reddish and all these dudes. Well, the haul for the number 11 pick is just more cachet to offer for Donovan Mitchell. What's more important? A young piece that the Utah Jazz ain't gonna want, or those first round picks that you know the Utah Jazz are gonna want because their team, the team president, whatever his name is obsessed with draft picks, right? So they do that, and then somebody in the circle does something foolish. They overpay for Rudy Gobert and force the Jazz to break up their team. They're like, we'll give you 4 first-round picks, and we'll give you 4 first-round picks and a pick swap and 2 young players. One of them is a rookie for this dude with a max deal that don't offer you offense. And so right off the rip, the Utah Jazz like, yo, we got to take that. Right? You got to take that. So now it's like, now that you got rid of your second and third best player, why keep your best player? It doesn't make sense because now you don't have things around him to help him prosper. But the Knicks do. So the Knicks offer up overtures. Like, hey, y'all still looking to reap the, y'all still trying to get a haul for Donovan Mitchell? We know somebody that can give you a haul. Utah's like, well, we want 13 first-round picks. Well, we can't offer you 13. We were thinking about offering you 1. 1 first-round pick, you crazy. Right? But listen, let's negotiate. Let's haggle. Let's see if we could do something in the middle. Because we're not giving you 12 or 13 first-round picks. That's out. Because Kevin Durant ain't even worth that much right now. What about 8 first-round picks? Nick's like, nah, we ain't giving you no 8 first-round picks, man. Get off my phone. I'll talk to you later. Right? Now, all of a sudden, the pressure is on Utah to do something because everybody knows they're rebuilding. Rudy Gobert set the market one direction. Kevin Durant basically corrected the market, right? Because when my man got traded for 4 first-round picks and a pick swap, that was way too much, right? But then Kevin Durant gets thrown out there because Brooklyn's like, yo, if Gobert's going for that much, imagine what we get for Kevin Durant. Right? They reset the market. Now the Knicks are like, now we somewhere in the middle. We somewhere between 4 and 6 first-round picks based on protections. Now what we going to do? We'll give you some young players. We'll give you some ham sandwiches. And that brings us to where we are today. It's about the chess moves from both sides. Like with me, I don't push my pawns to the middle, right? Because I like to use angles. I like to attack from long distances, right?
Sneaky attacks.
Yeah. Put them pieces out there if you want to. I'm getting all leave your rooks and bishops unprotected. I'm taking them because I want your queen on defense. I don't want your queen on offense.
You want to chase the queen.
Yeah, I want your queen on defense. I want your queen to be running from me. You know what I'm saying? I don't want your queen attacking. You know what I'm saying? Eating up all my, you know what I'm saying? Eating up all my pawns and leaving my king unprotected. Now I got a castle tuck into a corner. I don't want to do that. Right? I want to be on the attack. I don't want to be on the defense. Right? And both sides are doing that.
So Freezy, you are an aggressive chess player. That's what you're telling me?
No. I'm not aggressive. I'm more strategic.
Sneaky. He catch you sleeping.
Yeah. Like legit. Instead of just throwing a wild haymaker, I want you to move into the haymaker. You know what I'm saying? Like that. That's what I'm getting at. Like the whole thing with both sides. The
like
Jazz,
he do them castle moves and all that. He do them sneaky. When people, what's that move called when you move your castle over?
Yeah, like I'm a castle. Like depending on, I'm gonna cut the board in half, right? I'm gonna cut the board in half, right? So your king is separated from his defense, right? That's what I want to do. Cut it in half so your king is separated from the pieces that can defend him, and then I'm gonna attack the defenders first, and then have you move the king one square at a time up the board to that I can trap you. I want to get a quadrant. I'm going to cut it in half, and then I'm going to cut it in half horizontally too, so your king can't go nowhere. That's my strategy.
Do you think Leon Rose and them is playing chess? That's what you were saying?
Yes, I think they are playing chess. I think not only are they playing chess. Okay, I got a young dog, bro. He just felt like every time I talk about the Knicks, he start barking, bro. Hold on, y'all.
So P, what you was gonna say, bro? You trying to say something?
You talking about me?
I'll freeze it back.
Yeah, and so Don, so God damn, Benny, what are you doing?
Yeah, nah, man, I'm trying my best to be positive. You know what I mean? I know I'm not on the island when I'm talking about the moves that the Knicks been making. I'm a fan, but I gotta think when we have these discussions, and it's not just this panel, any other panel. I gotta ask myself: Does fit matters to the fans, or is it that when we have a lot of talent, it's just gonna work itself out? And I think throughout history, sometimes it does, and sometimes it doesn't.
Yeah, I understand where you're coming from, but think about this: what is your system? Can you answer that? What's your system?
You said, "What's my system?" What I think that Tom Thibodeau's system is, when we get down to it, is defense, getting stops, defense. I think we was at our best when we was able to get some stops. Now, I'm not saying Donovan Mitchell is a horrible defender. I'm not saying Brunson is a horrible defender. I think both of them are willing defenders, but that doesn't translate to them being decent to being able to consistently get ball stops. And I think to myself.
So what data are we using to support that? Is there a specific site you got that from?
No, it's not a specific site that I got that from. Freezy, you know me. I use the odd test. If it was D'Antoni's system, then I can understand that, because D'Antoni is known for outscoring his opponents. His teams is known for outscoring his opponents. I've never known Tom Thibodeau's teams to outscore other teams. It's always defense first, and then offense secondary.
Well, how many players did they have on those Tom Thibodeau teams that were offensive players outside of the Timberwolves? Nobody on the Bulls was lighting it up like that.
Yeah, exactly.
Was coach.
My point. That's exactly my point. I vividly remember the starting five on the Bulls. From Ronnie Brewer, Luol Deng, Carlos Boozer, and Joe Canoa. Carlos Boozer was the only one who was a subpar defender out of all the Bulls. And the only person who provided offense for the Bulls at the time, at one point, it was Carlos Boozer. Later on, during Derrick Rose's prime years, it was Derrick Rose. But if they wasn't playing defense right, they was going to lose every game. They needed defense in order for the Bulls to even compete.
So okay.
Can I say something?
Yeah. Let me just point out the systems first. So on defense,
Okay.
Tom Thibodeau runs an aggressive man-to-man ice pick and roll coverage on defense, right? And y'all know ice pick and roll. Basically, what it is teams getting the pick and roll. Tom Thibodeau's defense wants to push them to one side of the floor or the other, but nothing straight down the middle of the lane, right? That's the defensive strategy. So remember that ice pick and roll is what Tom Thibodeau want to run in aggressive man-to-man in your Jersey defense. Force the pick and roll handler to one side of the floor, right? Whatever side he go to, everything is like a wave of defense pushing him further away from the basket, right? On offense, Tom Thibodeau wants to run high ball screen pick and roll from the top of the key, right? Right from the top of the key. And the reason why that's important is because when you do it from the middle of the floor, it's easier for the pick and roll handler to find out where the help is coming from. So you can't trap it, right? So you whether it's you take the screen, reverse behind the screen, whatever side, Tom Thibodeau wants that to stay in the middle of the floor so you can get a weak side cutter and a three-point shooter in the corner, a man spotted up from about 18 feet, a roll man, and a ball handler with a shot going to the basket, whether it's 18 feet all the way up to a dunk. That's what Tibbs wants to run offensively. And while it sounds simple, it's very complicated and tough for a defense to stop, because if one person is out of place, right? If one person is out of place against that offense, you're going to get an open shot from somewhere, right? That's what you remember, like when high schools JV teams and them used to run the 2-3 zone. You remember how important it was to have zone integrity, like the dude that's covering the wing to the corner, he can't collapse to the paint, because if you did, you gave up corner threes.
You got to get out to the corner,
yeah, right.
And you got to let know who's gonna go out there. That's the forward or the guard or the wing, all that. Yep.
Right.
You got to tell your players that.
Yeah, and you got to call it out before the ball get there. You can't be late calling it out.
It's funny you say that, because I play at 1-2-2 in the zone with my team,
right.
And I be having to tell the guard that's on the elbow to get close out to that shooter, reference to the big man going out, because then now they getting offensive rebounds. But go ahead, you're right.
Right. And so you got to communicate that. But then when you play against Tom Thibodeau's high pick and roll offense, what happens is, if it's one lapse in communication, somebody somewhere is getting an open shot. Right?
Facts.
But it's up to us to knock down the shots. Well, guess what? People blame Tom Thibodeau's system, but when you look at the shot percentages from this team last year, they were terrible.
And he asked for better players too.
Right.
And I'm not the biggest Tibbs supporter, but I keep it real. And I say what's the facts is, he did keep begging for more and more talent, and people got to take that in consideration. You know what I'm saying? And what I wanted to say was, reference to what you're talking about, Chuck is on the panel. Chuck was the one that said we in acquisition mode, meaning like we in talent acquisition mode.
Yep. I'll be right back, y'all.
I believe that. Chuck, you still there?
Yeah, I'm still here.
Yeah, Chuck. Touch on that, Chuck, because that's what this kind of proves to me. And I feel like if that's the case, reference to what the bro was just saying, like, I agree with his opinion, because you can't always say everything gonna work. But when you in talent acquisition mode, right, and you getting talent, that's what talent kind of does, if you know how to play. And then that's up to the coaches to put them in position, or chemistry helps them play better together eventually. But go ahead, Chuck.
Right. So with talent acquisition, like y'all have to understand, like, some of the guys that we have, they're good, but like Harwell said, the coach was asking for more talent. So obviously these guys are talented, but not talented enough, right? So you acquire these draft picks, you draft the decent players that you drafted. Now you consolidate those to get better talent. Because I like the young guys, but we have a bunch of the same thing over and over, right? Like, I don't mind eating oatmeal every day, but give me some strawberries sometimes, some blueberries.
That's right.
You know what I'm saying? So you want to bring in someone that is young, but brings a different skill set than all of the other guys, right? we like Quentin Grimes, but Quentin Grimes isn't Spider Mitchell. And just like Spider Mitchell probably wouldn't be him on the defensive end. You want to get as much talent on this team as possible because hey, who's to say this is the last move if you get Spider Mitchell, right? The guys we got are good, but don't think that these guys are going to get us a chip. I don't even think just Donovan Mitchell and Brunson is enough. I think you need more. We need one of these young guys that we took in the top 10 of the draft to elevate. If we're not doing that, then you got to move on. Like you can't let these guys walk for anything. And again, you don't want to overpay for a bunch of potential role players. So right now we're just gathering enough ammunition to make a move to acquire more talent. That's it. Donovan Mitchell is more talent.
Facts.
It's not a finished product. It won't be a finished product, guys. I think okay, so they keep saying in the chat, RJ's not going. I don't think RJ is going to go, only because I could see him fitting in
with Donovan,
the role
right?
that he's in now at small forward. You remember how you were saying the other day on your show, Harwell, how everyone was getting on RJ because his point production went down, but the year before they were saying his defense got to get better, and that year his defense was better, but then everyone's expecting him to carry the load offensively, and he couldn't.
Yeah, do both. Yeah, facts.
Right. But you bring in a Donovan Mitchell, RJ just got to play defense.
He takes that pressure off of RJ. Facts.
Right. RJ can cut to the basket. He can get easy looks. No one's doubling him or anything like that.
Yep.
RJ gets a real.
He'll have more energy, Chuck.
Right.
He'll have more energy to compete the way we needed him to, because like I was trying to say, he was young and we had so much high expectations from him, which is just typical New York things, right? Cool. But you got to face reality. He's still young and you can't expect him to do both of that. Now with this type of help, you could expect him to improve now, have more energy to show up on defense, and he should be more efficient because it takes pressure off of him, especially now that you got people who can actually handle the ball, even Brunson. So, but Chuck, I agree with you, bro.
So let me ask this.
Wait, before you go down, I'm gonna let you go. Let me get to the super chat from Kazu718. This is all nonsense. The question is, does Mitchell make us a contender? How much is too much to give up so that we will still have the ability to improve?
You can answer that.
You can answer that, Don P, and then move on to your point, bro.
But Don P believe what that guy's saying, kind of, right, Don P? Yo.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Hey, can you hear me? I had got a phone call. I interrupted.
Oh, it's all good.
No,
we were saying answer it, but you feel the same way he does, right? The guy who put the super chat, right?
I didn't even see it. I got a phone call. So
okay. I answer it. Basically, in reference to the super chat, I'm gonna say this, right? We said it earlier. I don't know if you was listening, but I don't know how you feel about Spider, but Freezy was saying, 3-time All-Star, average 20 points coming in the league. There's no reason to, not want to acquire somebody who could make the team better. And I think they mixing up, if we giving up picks and a couple of players like Chuck just mentioned, we have players that's stacked in position that we need to move and figure out a lot of things with going forward. And I think Mitchell solves that. Even Don P, you said you think 3 players could do better than what 1 player could do. I think that's more complicated than somebody that's already established, that's already going to the All-Star, already averaging 20 points, already could go off the dribble. So when you're talking 3 other guys that still need work in those areas, we predicting that they're going to be good players. You know what I mean? Reference to seeing a player who's already considered as a good player because he's already in these all-stars and things that we don't vote on. The NBA and the people put him there. So it's not us to say, oh, we can't never say he don't deserve it. So we just looking at the accolades that he accomplished already. And we know we don't have that type of talent. And that's why we even just mentioned why Tibbs saying he need better talent, because they kind of in a win now mode, if you ask me, more than really a full rebuild. So that would even make more sense to bring Spider in to get him more firepower to contend in this Eastern Conference, because the Eastern Conference got a lot of competition. And hopefully that gives you some answers to your question in the super chat. And I'm about to step out. I'll be back. Freeze, if you hear me, Chuck. I'm about to go in the barbershop. I'll step back in a minute, y'all. See y'all soon.
All right.
Yeah, I get the different perspectives that's going on. I see that you have some fans that want to win soon, want to compete now or sooner rather than later. And then I think I don't know if there's most of us, but I know for a fact there's few of us out there, I guess, who wants to play the long game. You know what I mean? So I guess that's where my sentiment is coming from a fan's perspective of, I watch a team like the Raptors and I think to myself, like, how did they get to the position that they're in? Never mind the title that they won with Kawhi, but how are they able to compete? How did they do it? Did they trade for anybody, or most of their assets came through the draft? And I wonder to myself, why can't we do that? Why is it so hard for us to do that?
Well, for us, I think part of that problem, Don P, is when we have the picks, we don't pick the right guys. That's what it boils down to. We had too many years of terrible picks. Like, we pick bad, and then great players go after or right before. So we have to, if you can't pick, if you don't know how to pick, then get someone in here that knows how to find and evaluate talent properly. If you don't go that route, then it's best to trade those picks for a guy that you know is already proven. Now, one thing that I wanted to point out the other day is, like, I see both sides of the argument where, like you said, playing the long game, right? Play out this season, see what this team looks like now with Jalen Brunson, letting Cam get some time and play, RJ getting into the flow of things, and we'll see how things go. And if things are looking the same, then okay, let's make a move and try to do something. Or let's wait and see what 2023 draft is going to be like, because again, it's supposed to be the deepest draft. Maybe we can hit on some guys, depending on where we're drafting at, and who's in that room, who's been doing the evaluating of these players that we could possibly draft, because it doesn't really make sense to draft another guy like two guys we already have on the roster. That just doesn't make sense, because we'll just be in the chat like, yo, such and such should get more time. He can't develop if he don't get time. But there are already two guys in front of him that do exactly what he does. So how does this rook get time? And the guys that are in front of him, are they going to get better? Are they going to be able to take their games to another level? If not, then you got to make that move. And so if you're going to make that move, is now the time?
That's a rhetorical question.
Yeah, no. I'm just asking, is now the time? Is now the time to go in and bring in another guy?
I don't think it is, because it's not like we lost with the young guys last season. We lost with veterans that the front office picked up. So it's not the same old anymore. It's not like Tom Thibodeau Fizdale us and just let the young guys play. And he did to a degree. He let RJ play. You could argue that he let Quickly play. But when we say that, you know what I'm talking about. You know what I mean? We really lost with the veterans more so than with the young dudes.
But I think that was a reason. Like, Tibbs was like, yo, I don't trust these guys out here, so I'm gonna go with guys that I trust. For us to sit there and act like we don't do that in our everyday lives, deal with people that we trust versus people we don't, is ridiculous. Now, from the outside looking in, we're saying like, yo, this guy can play, but the coach is like, yo, he don't do what he's supposed to do. Like the very simple tasks that I give him, they can't execute. Like Kevin Knox.
Right.
Kevin Knox couldn't execute very simple defensive assignments. When he was on the floor, he looked lost. That doesn't take away from the fact that he could at least shoot the ball. But bro, if you can't do anything else on the floor, you're wasting space.
I won't defend Kevin Knox, but what I will say is this: is that due to the politics within Thibs and the front office, or is that due to talent? Because I've seen many a times where Obi Toppin did something wrong and he pulled Obi Toppin off the floor. Cool. But when Julius Randle took some plays off, Julius Randle still got his minutes. So is he holding everybody accountable, or is this a thing to where it's politics?
Bro, it's politics, man. Anybody that's played sports know star players get different treatment. That's just how that goes. I don't care what level of ball. Even if you got a coach saying everybody's the same, nah, it don't be that way. This person gets a little extra leeway. To some, yo, man, that's not fair, man. We should be treated the same way. But at the end of the day, we don't get paid the same. And when the sports writers write their columns, they don't scrutinize y'all the same as me.
And that's all I wanted to come across. So like when I hear the not argument, not that you're saying this argument, but I hear that narrative, well, maybe the young guys just wasn't good enough. And it's like, yeah, maybe they wasn't. But if we see veterans losing, stinking up the place too, then how is that a fair narrative?
Personally, I just don't think this team was put together well. The starting lineup was not put together well.
I agree with you on that, Chuck.
Say that again.
So I agree with you on that, Chuck. It wasn't. It was not a good balance.
The second team was balanced perfectly. That's why we were all clamoring for the second team to start. Like, yo, you need to put the second team in there. But they were balanced. You had your penetrator in Derrick Rose. You had your shooter with Quickly, your long range shooter with Quickly. You had your slasher and finisher at the rim with Alec Burks. You had your defenders with Todd's. No. Who's the backup? Obi Toppin. It depends on how y'all want to look at Obi Toppin as a defender, but you got Obi Toppin and Taj Gibson or Sims. So you had guys that fit their role, knew their role, and did what they were supposed to do, right?
So that brings me back to my original point. So fit does matter?
Fit absolutely matters. I think fit trumps all.
And that's where my issues with Donovan Mitchell come into play.
That's why I saw it going when you asked that question right there, Don P, because I'm kind of like Don P with the Donovan Mitchell. How does it fit? How's it going to fit? But I'm like, hey, these people get paid a little bit more than me, so I'm pretty sure they'll work it out. Because I'm at a point in time now where you got to just stay as open-minded as you can and not overanalyze it, I guess. I mean, that's what I'm doing, because it started even with the draft. I knew something was going to happen. We didn't make a draft. We didn't draft a player in the first round. So that means you got your eye on some players to be able to make some moves. And the only reason I came to that conclusion, and it's always something that Rob the Knick had to say: follow the money. Look what they're doing. You know, you sit back and you listen to, you listen to a few people, you kind of sit back and just actually listen, just stay open-minded and listen. You know, they seeing it from a whole nother angle, another view where you weren't able to see. So with this, I just think that, or for me, it's just, how does Bronson and Spider, how they gonna fit? But then, because you start thinking about defensively, think about the size. Because I've been more saying size, man. We'll give up some size. But offensively, that's a monster. But then you're thinking about the defense, because why? We all kind of shell shocked because of what happened last season with Dikembe Evan Fournier. Because he's like, what you gonna do with Evan Fournier? Because that's the other name that keep coming up. Well, you're either gonna put him on the bench or he's gonna get moved. He's not in the equation of what's moving forward. He's just a piece to the puzzle, or a pawn in the game to get sacrificed to get what you really need.
Hey, let me ask you guys 2 questions real quick about fit. I believe a lot of people already said that they either want Quickly just to play, whether it be a shooting guard or point guard. As of this year, Quickly is going to be the 2 guard off the bench, playing with D Rose, because D Rose is still here. Last time I checked, Quickly is the same size as Donovan. Why are we not talking about Quickly's issues about being a small 2 guard?
Oh, yeah. Can I answer that?
Go ahead.
I would say this. It is already somewhat of a log jam at the 2 as is, even when Alec Burks is gone already. And for the majority of the time, Quickly, I mean, we see it clear as day that they're trying to develop Quickly be a point guard more than anything. And as far as the whole Derrick Rose thing, we don't know what's going to go on with Derrick Rose. We don't know if Derrick Rose is going to actually play that season. I've seen what he looked like. He's out of shape. Not to say that he's going to be in shape. I just don't know with Derrick Rose. Derrick Rose is more of an unknown to me than Quickly is. So I don't know.
We should operate as the fact that D Rose is here for right now. And
right. If
Quickly
D-Rose
played the 2 with D Rose to start the year last year, and I didn't hear people complaining about Quickly's defense. Why? Because you can get in the passing lanes. You can just be disruptive. If Brunson and Mitchell can be disruptive, we're not going to have all-world defenders, but defense a lot is about effort. If you can tell me Marcus Smart can guard a 7'3" Kristaps Porzingis in the post, you can't tell me Brunson and Mitchell can put in effort to just make the defense better, because defense is all about effort. That's where I come when it comes to the issue about the fit. Yeah, I get it, they're small, but there's ways to work around that. It doesn't always have to be, well, you're small, you're dead. It's not always a mouse in the house type of thing.
And that's where I'm at with it, because what you're saying right there, because what you just said, Jake, that's why it's like back and forth on that. But again, just because you're small, you got some undersized cats that were hellacious defenders. So you can't just look at it at that. So it's like I said, they'll work the way out. Like I said, in the end, it's all gonna come together like butt cheeks. I really believe.
Yeah, I just don't get it, because does Marcus Smart have the longest arms in the world? No. Guess what? He's very smart and he's tough. Coming out of Louisville, guess what? For you to play for Rick Pitino, you got to be a defender, because they press up and down the court. Donovan Mitchell came out the draft known as a defensive guard. Nobody known him to be the scorer that he is now. I just don't understand why. Now the narrative is Donovan Mitchell can't defend, or he's basically the same size as Quickly. We'll turn the blind eye to Quickly, who's basically the same size as Donovan, but Donovan's more stronger. But now we're going to have issues with Donovan playing the 2.
We're not, and that's the thing. If Quickly was starting at the 2, I won't have the same issues with Quickly.
But more people be like, oh, yeah, he's one of ours. So, yeah, he's starting. We good.
No, I won't have the same issues. And my thing is, his I don't like clicheisms when it comes to us. As far as Knicks fans go, we're the king of sloganisms. We're the king of clicheisms to justify a point. My thing is this. I don't care if you're a willing defender. Yeah, defense takes effort. But it makes a dramatic difference if you're playing hard against me and you're 5'9" and 6 feet tall and I'm 6'5", rather than somebody who's my same height. That matters.
All right, so let me tell you this. Quentin Grimes is 6'5" with a 6'5" wingspan. Donovan Mitchell is 6'3" with a 6'10" wingspan. Who do you think is going to bother a shot more?
I think it's going to be Grimes. I don't care about the wingspan. I think it's going to be Grimes.
But if we're talking about height, and you're talking about 2 height difference.
You're talking about wingspan,
Donovan Mitchell is stronger than Grimes, and he has longer arms to bother a shot. So why are we omitting certain information? Just because we've seen him got killed in the playoffs.
I don't know if he's stronger than Grimes, but
Donovan Mitchell is stronger than Grimes. Yeah, he's built like he's a tank. Donovan Mitchell's a tank compared to Grimes.
I don't know that.
I'll say this with height, it's all on the player, because maybe some of y'all are too young, or maybe you don't remember. Muggsy Bogues played 13 years in the NBA. He's 5'3".
Yeah,
right.
Muggsy Bogues, and then you had Spud.
Right. So I think that part that we're worried about defense. I think those things work themselves out, because they said the same thing about Steph Curry, how he couldn't guard anybody. But when it was time for them to win, their coaches found strategies to put him in the best position, whether it was guarding someone who wasn't hot or couldn't shoot, or whatever the case may be. I know having both of those guys on the floor, you won't be able to hide anyone, but.
So let me ask you something, Chuck. And since you talked about the Golden State Warriors.
Yes, sir.
Remember how good Monte Ellis was in his prime?
Yeah, Monte Ellis was a beast.
He was a beast, right?
Yes.
You remember how Klay Thompson was when healthy, right?
Yes.
Who would you choose between the two to play next to Steph Curry?
Man, that's very easy, because I seen them both.
That's
play with Steph Curry.
Question. That's an unfair question.
No, it's not. No, it's not. It's this is a question that's proving the point. But who would you choose out of the two? Because Monte Ellis wasn't no scrub; he was a beast.
Yeah,
and it wasn't
Monte
like
Ellis,
somebody better.
Clay is the better fit, because Clay doesn't have the ego that Monte Ellis was. That's why they traded him. He didn't want to play with Steph. So putting an excellent shooter like Clay, who plays D, a 3-and-D guy, yeah, that makes more sense.
Let me ask you a question. Is Monte Ellis that much different than Jordan Poole right now?
You said what?
Is Monte Ellis that much different than Jordan Poole right now?
Monte Ellis was a beast. I
know,
love
Jordan Poole. Jordan Poole's on his way up, right? But they're both about the same height, same issues, right? But if you have defenders at the 3, 4, and 5, it doesn't matter who's in your backcourt. It's about team concept, team defense. You can figure it out. It's not the end of the world. If you're telling me I got to start day one with Donovan Mitchell and Brunson, or Brunson and Fournier, I'm going to take Donovan Mitchell every day of the week.
Yeah, it's gonna sound like I'm hating. Like I said, I'm not talking about stats. I'm talking about X's and O's. I'm talking about.
You. I feel you. But I just feel like you can figure that out elsewhere. You can get defenders at the 3, get defenders at the 4, get defenders at the 5. Make it more switchable.
I mean, but who's gonna be defending that out 3 if we don't? If RJ
we're gonna build. Remember, right now, is it arguably a top 5 backcourt in the NBA with Brunson and Mitchell? Quite possibly. That's something to build off of. You're gonna have veterans who might want to come here. You're gonna have, mid-season pickups when guys want their buyouts. You're gonna have next off-season, like Goran Dragic just went to the Bulls for cheap. You're gonna be able to find these guys to fill in these spots later on. If you want to go get what's the dude from St. John's that played for the Kings? Mo Harkless. If you want to get a defender like Mo Harkless, hey, might as well go do it. But you're able to do these things. You want to lock down a possibly top 3, top 5 backcourt in the NBA today. I'm not going to say no to that.
Okay.
Oh, okay. I'll take that.
Yeah, I mean, one of the things we were talking about, we were lacking in guard play, right? That's been one of the main concerns for years, right?
Okay.
So, I mean, if you do a move like this, it's going to address those issues that you've been having. Talking about the guard play, you got a point guard, you're going to have a 2 guard, and like I said, I'm just going to stand back and let it come together. They orchestrating this and get off the size thing, the size deal, and don't let any things from the past run, have you in fear of something new. Change is uncomfortable. That's all.
Right.
And another thing, I'm not worried about these picks, whatever they send out. As of today, we are 12 deep, and we're trying to find still time for young guys. You guys want to keep more draft picks for Tom not to play them right away, for you to have your picks sitting on the bench, rather than invest these picks in a guy that is going to help you win now. And he's still young, not even entering his prime. We're talking
That's
about
not true.
we
wouldn't
have
have
12 guys right now. And then you talking about Sims and Cam on the outside of the first 10. So you want to add more draft picks when this team is not gonna tank. So what is the value of these picks?
Well, what is tanking though? What is tanking though? Why would you tank? Hey, did y'all address the super chats while I was gone? Somebody addressed?
Yeah, you did.
Okay.
You didn't get the last one that just popped up.
Okay.
Yeah, I think that's a false narrative, because if DeJounte Murray, if we was to put the same package together for DeJounte Murray, I don't think none of us would have been complaining about that. So it's not about.
You're gonna have people say that he
I don't
can't
think people
shoot.
complaining about Spider Mitchell, except those that don't want him. And the same people will probably be doing the same thing about DeJounte Murray. Like, oh no, I don't want him either. Like, some fans aren't going to be happy.
Yeah, true.
Nobody's going to be happy. You can't please everybody, so it is what it is. You're just going to have to make the move, and then just let the outcome be what it's going to be. The bottom line, where everybody's going to be happy, is when you see the W's. That's what's going to make everybody happy.
Fans that are upset now, when we start getting those W's, and then Donovan Mitchell's in the talks of All-Star and all that stuff, you ain't going to hear those same fans complain no more.
Yeah, that's true.
I agree.
People love Quentin Grimes for Summer League now. Quentin Grimes is gonna be balling in Utah. Go get the NBA package to go see Grimes, because you ain't gonna think about him no more. He's gone.
Hey, so let me address that. Hold on. Let me address the super chat just real quick. Jay Giant, thank you for the generous contribution. Jay Giant says, I lost my Yankee cap last night. If you don't take that Mets hat off, would be saying the same to Donovan, salute Unc and the gang. Right? Let me so basically what I'm hearing is we are scared on one side and terrified on the other. But why?
It's like that.
One side is scared, the other side is terrified. But why?
It's the Nas quote I told you. It's the Nas
Reason
quote I told you
with a straight face, yo. I swear.
People hate what they can't understand and afraid what they can't conquer. We've never done something like this before. So until they prove it that they can do it, they won't be on board.
Wait a minute. So wait a minute. So the Knicks have never acquired a 25-year-old shooting guard from another team?
No. Well, I think what he's saying is
giving up what we're gonna give up and make it work.
But you don't know the price yet. So how are you afraid of something and you don't even know what it is?
It's fear of the unknown. It's the fear, the thing of change. Freezy, you know that's uncomfortable.
Yep.
But so the thing, what it sounds like to me is the side that's against the Mitchell deal is terrified, right? And the side that's for the Mitchell deal are scared, right? But what are you afraid of? Ultimately, you're afraid of something. And here is what I think the fans that are scared on one side and terrified on the other side. Like the fans that are terrified, basically what they're scared of is the removal from the mediocrity space. They're scared of the moving out of mediocrity, right? And so what it is when you move away from mediocrity, now you have this thing called expectations. Yeah. Right? If you get Donovan Mitchell, all of a sudden you got to win something. Really? That's why they call it a sport. You play to win the game. Right? The Tanker Wanksters are like, man, the mighty fourth seed, man. The fourth seed didn't mean nothing. Well, it meant everything to me, because I was in Atlanta, Georgia at State Farm Arena when my Knicks were playing in a playoff game. That was everything to me. Right? I went to a playoff game that my boys were playing in. That's everything to me. When you don't go to a game and be like, yo, they should have tanked. They should have tanked. I don't go to games. I don't rep my city. I I only talk about them. I support them by talking about them. Right. That's why you want to tank. But if you go to games, you don't want to sit through watching your team lose. Eddie C, what's good? Danny Landis. Danny Landis.
Breezy, I like your hat, buddy.
Yeah, man.
Nice.
If you like it, I love it, bro.
I love
Bringing
that
the
hat.
good juju. Bringing the good juju.
Bam.
Man, you know what, man? I'm gonna say something off rip, man. Yo, I honestly don't know what everybody's talking about. Like, I honestly don't know what's the decision behind not bringing Donovan Mitchell to the Knicks.
Yeah.
I have no clue as to conversations on height, conversations on defense, conversations on this, conversations on that. The only conversation that I'm willing to have is what's the deal? How many picks do we have to give up? What are the players that we have to give up?
Right.
But besides that, to me, is a no-brainer. We've been talking about this for 3 years now.
Right.
Thank you, Eddie. Keep going.
And now the time has come. And now we want to start, talking about this and that and why and how and what
and
how's it
shuffling
gonna
our
work
feet and taking deep breaths. Yeah.
Like it's like, come on, guys. Like this is the player that we've been looking for. I remember Anthony D the other day hollering like he always do. And he was asking me a question like, what are we gonna do for these picks? We're gonna get a big fish. What's the big fish? I told him about a month ago, 3 weeks ago, Donovan Mitchell.
Donovan Mitchell, man, come on, let's go.
A lot of people have been saying Donovan Mitchell. His name has been attached to the Knicks for a while, along with Brunson.
A blind man can see.
Yeah. Well, and my other thing, to edit what you said, edit and shot. Hey, good hit. Seeing you again, bro.
You too, my man.
A lot of it is, you think about it, you got Brunson, he's small. Then you get Donovan. He's small. So that's where it came. That's why you have some looking at it like that. I'm not gonna lie, I was looking at it like that too. So well, we're kind of going this way. I wanted, I was thinking Murray, and not just his side, because he came out of Pop system. So we know he knows how to play. He was in Pop system. So that's why myself was on the DeJounte Murray. That's just me.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
But you look at it, you got Spider. And like you said, we're going after a big fish. We can't get anybody. This is a guy, the stars and moons and all that are lining up for you get him. You just got to see what's going to be the price. And it's not like we're going to get fleeced, because it's not the same organization it was in the past. And a lot of the things that's going on now with a lot of people's in their mind right now, you're thinking about all the past events, how things went wrong. So again, the Knicks are an undiscovered country because we haven't had assets like this. We haven't had money like this. We haven't had ability to get up here and make a trade to get a big fish, so to say. Other than, and then because the other thing you're going to go back to, and you're going to hear it, is going to come back to the Melo deal. Well, that's a whole.
Oh my God! Oh my!
That's so corny.
Yeah,
that's so lame now.
Yeah, but you got some that's thinking that way though. You know what I'm saying? You got some that's thinking about that whole Melo incident. Hey, that was then. This is now. Move forward.
And those people that be talking about that soul finger, you could see them moonwalking for the last 2 weeks and a half.
Right. Yeah.
All them people that have been saying this. Oh, why do we not pick? Why do we this that? They've been moonwalking for 2 weeks straight.
Right.
I'm not.
And let me put your mind at ease, soul finger, when it comes to the height, right? When it comes to the height, Donovan Mitchell's draft combine height with shoes was 6'3", right?
Yeah.
You could say he's 6'1", you could say he's 6'2", but I'm gonna tell you one thing that has never changed. That man has a 6'10" wingspan.
Right.
He has a 210, 215 pound chisel body, strong frame.
Right.
Those things have never changed. So be that he be 6'1", be that he be 6'2", be that he be 6'3". He's a strong young player who has a 6'10" wingspan. He could hold his own on defense. And I'm pretty sure Tom Thibodeau is going to hold him to that.
Right.
He's going to hold him to that accord.
And like I said, Grimes is 6'5" with a 6'5" wingspan.
Grimes is they say 6'5", but 6'4".
It's 6'4". Yeah, I heard it's smaller. And Mitchell is 6'3" with a 6'10" wingspan. I think the 6'10" wingspan is going to bother your shot a lot more than 6'4".
Yeah. I mean, you know, hey,
And this is the last thing I'm going to add about the Donovan Mitchell. Anybody who has any fears about anything, go to YouTube, go watch the game, the one game that Donovan Mitchell came to MSG this year, and how he killed the Knicks. It don't matter if they put a big on him, a small on him, a skinny guy, a fat guy. It didn't matter. Donovan Mitchell controlled that game without scoring that many points. He got everybody involved, and he killed the Knicks personally on defense, no matter what they did. That's the guys that you guys are afraid of and are saying no.
No. See, I don't like the narrative. I don't like the narrative that we anything. I don't like this narrative. See, here's the thing. This whole thing of positionless basketball or playing small, yeah, the Warriors offshoot of that. You know what I mean? That's the team, that's the team that's way up right now. I've seen the team that's coming up that's scaring other teams due to their length. You know what team that is? That's the Raptors. And if y'all watch the series between the 76ers and the Raptors, yes, the Raptors lost. But when they started going big against the 76ers, it was giving them fits. The only thing that's keeping the Raptors from being the most dominant team in the East right now is the center, which they got through the draft. And we all know how good they are when it comes to developing talent. So I'm not saying this to say that, oh, I'm just scared of Donovan Mitchell. I'm saying this to say that the team, the way the league is gonna go is everybody's gonna go bigger. Dallas is gonna go bigger. A lot of teams is gonna go bigger. That's all I'm saying. And we're the only team that's, you know what? We just need talent. We just need talent. We just need talent. How about drafting?
Can you guarantee the league is gonna go bigger?
Judging from the reports I've seen on the Raptors, how
but
that
Raptors team ain't won nothing.
No, they didn't. They didn't. But again, I said they was the only reason why they lost is because they didn't have a center. Joel Embiid was dominating them. James Harden still has something left in the tank to do something against the Raptors. But other than that, if you watch Doc Rivers' interviews, he was sweating bullets going against the Raptors. He was sweating bullets. He would clearly admit, yo, their length is bothering us.
So let me ask you a question, Don P. If I'm 6'1", right, and you're 6'5", how are you going to try to get a bucket over me? What's your offensive game plan to score on me?
That's easy. If you're 6'1" and I'm 6'5", then all I gotta do is shoot over you. I don't care how strong you are. Now, if I don't have a shooting game, I'm in trouble. But all I gotta do is shoot over you. I'll torch plenty of people who shorter than me. I don't care how good you can play.
So how are you gonna shoot? You're gonna shoot over me from where? From where on the court are you gonna shoot over me?
I shoot double pumpers. So unless you
but are you gonna post me up? Are you gonna what type of play are you gonna do? Are you gonna post the?
I don't have to post you up. I don't
shake
have
and
to.
bake. You're gonna shoot me from. You're gonna shoot from deep, right?
It could be from deep. It could be from anywhere on the floor. It could be from anywhere on the floor. I don't have to post you up. Even if you're stronger than me, I could get to my spots and I could shoot over you.
Okay, so how tall do you have to be to shoot from three?
You ain't got to be. I mean, you can shoot from three from any height.
Okay, and how many points is how many points is a 3-pointer?
It's 3.
Right. So no, but I'm not trying to be stupid here, but what I'm trying to say is that whatever a 6'5", a 6'6", a 6'7" man can do, if he has skill, the other man could do at 6'1", 6'2". You know what I'm saying? I could post you up. I don't know if you could post up, right? So I guess I asked that question knowing that I could post you up. I could post you up and I could shoot over you. I could do both. And in the NBA, there's a lot of people. There's a lot of people in the NBA. There's a lot of people that think if somebody's shorter than you, they're gonna take you on the block and they'll lay it up over you. So that's 2 points. But the NBA is a 3-point game.
Okay.
What's the average man?
And you brought up.
He was saying that big man is about to be a big man.
Yeah. See, that's what I'm saying. The whole size conversation is just filler for another conversation, right? The whole
for the real conversation.
The whole conversation is we bring up size because we want an offensive or defensive advantage. right? That's the reason why we say size. People say, "Oh, he's too short to defend," because it seems like the offensive player against a shorter defensive player has the advantage.
Hey, Don
Right?
P, when you brought up the Toronto narrative, like I told you earlier, you can work around a small backcourt because their backcourt was Van Vliet and Gary Trent Jr.
All right.
Their front court consists of that length and height that I mentioned that you can still go out and find. It's not the
I'm
end of
glad
the
you
world
brought.
how big your front court is.
I'm glad you brought that up. Thank you for bringing that up because when I went to go brag about how my Knicks team beat another YouTuber who was doing podcasts for the Raptors, I went to brag on him. I went to troll him a little bit. When he was watching the games with Fred VanVleet and what's that other dude name on Kyle Lowry, he was like, "Yo, we too small." That's what he was saying. Yo, we too small. Teams take advantage of that, and they was trying to get out of that. They was trying to get out of there. So when they was going against the 76ers and they had Fred VanVleet playing the point or whatever, I don't know if he's injured or not. He was like, "Yo, we need to go bigger. They're killing us." And when they went bigger, that's when they started to win. Now, ultimately, they lost the series, but they was about to get swept.
Now, they wanted to go
No,
bigger to deal with Joel Embiid, or
and
they
no
wanted to go bigger?
disrespect too, B. No disrespect. But for 48 games, you started a 6'6" point guard and a 6'7" shooting guard, and the Knicks were in the lottery.
You saw him on 6'6" point guard and a 6'7"
Point
shooting
guard
guard.
and a 6'7" shooting guard, and the
We
Knicks
talking about
wound up in the lottery.
who's that? You talking about Moody?
Burks and Fournier.
Burks and Fournier.
Burks and Fournier. But we come on.
But
We
you
know
mentioned
Burks.
the height.
Yeah, but we talk about height.
But the thing is, the thing was specifically height. The thing the debate was specifically height. It wasn't about the skill of the player. Because the Raptor YouTuber that you said was complaining about we too small also celebrated when that small backcourt won an NBA title.
I wouldn't be complaining I wouldn't be complaining about Donovan Mitchell if he was our primary point guard. I wouldn't be complaining about Donovan Mitchell if he was
I'm pretty sure that same YouTuber was happy that night when that 6'1" Fred VanVleet killed Burks. I'm pretty sure that YouTuber was happy that night.
Talent and size. Talent and size.
You said what about?
I'm pretty sure that YouTuber that night wasn't too
height doesn't matter.
upset about his 6'1" VanVleet killing 6'6" Burks, because I'm pretty sure VanVleet killed Burks that night.
Yeah, I mean, he was a fan of Fred VanVleet, but when Fred VanVleet was commanding all that money, even though they wound up just giving him $20,000 a year, he was like,
$20 million. Yeah.
My bad, 20 mil. That same YouTuber was like, I'm a fan of the Raptors because of Fred VanVleet, but the direction of the team that we're going in, if he's asking for that much money, we don't need him. We need to go bigger. But if
that's
he
why he's on YouTube and he's not in the NBA front office, because that Raptor team finished in top 4.
Hey, you brought him back up. I'm just telling you. I'm just telling you what he said and what a bunch of the comments said. That's part of that Raptors fan base is saying. They love
that's
Fred
the
VanVleet.
point. The point is, just because we don't like something, that means there's no way to find a solution around it. There's ways you can find a solution around it. I'm not going to say no to talent because you're 6'1". I'm pretty sure the Philadelphia 76ers weren't always like, man, I got to trade Allen Iverson just because he's 6'3". No, you figure it out, man. Find the pieces around it that's going to make his talent even more bigger.
Right, and height never stopped Nate Robinson. Yeah. Sorry, go ahead, baby. Sorry.
Yeah. You remember you're talking about size and all like that. You remember Freeze, you remember the Candyman? Oliver Candy?
Yeah.
And he was supposed to be this and that.
The next Elijah Wan.
Yeah. And what did he do?
Nothing.
Zero.
So
y'all remember Sean Bradley? Y'all remember Sean Bradley?
Yeah,
oh my God, yes. 7'6", right?
Yep.
So all I'm saying is, like I said, I was kind of looking at it that way too, because you got to look at the matchup, but then you got to step back and say, this is a talent. This is a 3-time All-Star. You see, and granted, they got knocked out, and you see in the chat, he hasn't won in Utah. He hadn't gotten here. He hadn't gotten there. Well, that's in Utah. What's going to happen here? Because what it looked like to me, they're starting to put people together. Again, I'm sitting back, letting it all fall and see how it's gonna roll. I'm not gonna lie. I'm pleasantly pleased. You know, for what they're
and
been
plus that
doing
was
so far.
that was a Utah problem.
Yeah,
That's not a Knicks problem.
Exactly, Freezy.
Right.
That's why
Right.
I'm not looking at okay, so Freezy I'm looking at it like this. Freezy got him a Yukon Denali, and I got a Yukon Denali. It's just that I'm even having a problem with my Yukon Denali because I got an older one. Freezy got a new one. Those just because we got a Yukon don't mean the same thing. Those are two different things, two different problems.
Yes, sir. Yes,
May not
sir.
be the best analogy to use like that, but Donovan is over there in Utah dealing with what they had in Utah.
Mhm.
And nobody was beating down the door to go to Utah. You can say that nobody's trying to beat down the door to come to New York, but the moves they're making over here in New York are making the Knicks look more promising. See what I'm saying? And
They got Wright Patterson Air Force Base. Oh, sorry.
Yeah. No, Chuck. You got Bronson. We said we needed a point guard. We got to get a point guard. We got Bronson. Boom. Now we got a point guard. What's the first point guard we had since who? We haven't had Melo was the last star we had. Star, all-star, whatever you want to put it. Now you got a chance, opportunity to get him. We've been in all this time, like Leon has made the moves. He has to do this, he has to do that. And then all this time he wasn't talking, he's been stockpiling his weaponry to get ready to make that shot to go after get what he wants. And the connections are too deep. The CAA. I mean, hey, it's lining up. The stars, moons, and all that lining up, man. And if we get them, we can't be afraid to look forward to the future. Because again, I'm gonna keep saying it. We are in a new territory, undiscovered country because we've never been here before. We've been at the doldrums and always making a move, getting fleeced and all like that. And I understand when people have their trepidation on why it's going down like that. But I'm like, man, look, you can't. Scared money don't make money. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
You got to do what you got. Either 2 tears in the bucket. You know the rest, man. Let's just do what we got to do and build a dynasty. That's all it is.
Right.
Yo,
right.
great take, man. I appreciate that. Because Freezy said we are scared, or you said what? We in fear and we in scared, like two different places.
Yeah. It's one side is terrified,
it's terror,
and the other side is scared. The side that don't want Donovan Mitchell is terrified, right? Because of what they might potentially give up, right? But then when I tell them, basically what you're giving up is 6 points per game, right? A dude that is blocked at his position, right? A solid veteran he's plateaued. He's not gonna get any better or any worse right now. He's not gonna get any better or any worse right now, right? And then you're talking about giving up some draft picks, right? And one young guy with potential, right?
So and I even beg to my bad. I'm sorry.
No, go ahead.
And I've even beg to differ that we're not even gonna. It might just take Fournier and Grimes, maybe McBride, but I don't think IQ and Obi are going to be in that package.
Right.
Draft picks alone, and the Grimes situation, because what you said earlier in the conversation was super smart. When you talked about how the Minnesota Timberwolves, basically, damaged the market.
Yeah.
But then the Kevin Durant situation corrected.
Course corrected it.
Reset the market. Yeah.
Reset it. Because we saw how Kevin Durant is a great player, and he's not. Nobody wants to even give up what they gave for Gobert for Durant.
Right. Even though Durant is better. Even though Durant is better than Gobert.
Right. So the market changed at that point. And again, I have to give kudos to you, because you also said as soon as Danny Ainge heard that offer, he pressed go. You know what I'm saying? Forget about the rest. You know what I mean? Like, it really doesn't matter if you have two objects that are worth this and that. If you had a set price for selling both of the objects, and then the second, plan B turned out to be the more lucrative one, you still got what you wanted out of the selling.
Out of the totality.
The totality of the sale, correct. So even if we give maybe the same value that they gave for Rudy Gobert, which is probably Grimes, because Grimes is better than all of those young players that they gave up. He's better than Vanderbilt. He's better than I don't even know who else they gave up in that trade.
Walker Kessler.
He's better than him too. And
Malik Beasley, yeah.
And Fournier is better than the veterans that they gave in that deal.
Beasley and Pat Beverly.
Right?
They gave up Beasley too?
Yep.
Beasley's also gone. So
he's nice though, Beasley too.
So we're giving them a better rookie. We're giving them a better veteran who can still play for them for the next 2 years. Because you still need to go out and play basketball, right? You're not packing it in for 2 years, and all the assets. Maybe 4 to 5 picks, maybe 5 picks is what's going to make it done.
Eddie, who you willing to give up, Eddie? What's your trade package?
Who am I willing to give up? I'm willing to give up Grimes. Okay, I feel you.
Okay.
My package is Grimes, Fournier, maybe McBride, and draft picks. That's like my final offer, right? If I'm negotiating with you or this is like the basis of my thing. But if I would have to give up somebody, I would probably say Obi, due to the fact that I already have somebody at his position who's a star. I wouldn't do
But Eddie,
I wouldn't
what
do
if they say Barrett or no deal?
Then there's
no
deal.
Yeah, then there's no
deal.
No deal?
Yeah, and then you walk away. Hey.
Right. Yeah.
And there's no deal. And then you let them deal with that situation because he doesn't want to be there. The season is fast approaching. And you're gonna have another Ben Simmons on your hands.
Right.
And
the other thing too, to Eddie C's point, I just want to accent what Eddie C said. I just want to garnish what Eddie C is saying. The pressure is not on the Knicks to make the deal, bro. Right? The pressure is on Utah. And the longer this thing goes, like Eddie C brought up the point, the season is fast approaching, means that the deadline for doing this is not a law deadline, right? Not a professional deadline, but a courtesy deadline, right? Like you don't want to have this thing drag out into the season and then get Donovan Mitchell booed, right? And then now he coming to you, putting the pressure on you, and then now you going back with your tail tucked because you got to do a deal when you could have just did the deal in good faith, right? And so just wanted to throw that garnish out there, man.
Hey, Freeze, let me ask a question. Did Eric Pascal play in Villanova when Brunson was there?
I think so.
Amari
Spellman, Eric Pascal.
Yeah, isn't he Donovan Mitchell's best friend from Utah that just got cut?
Yeah.
Guess what? Now you can find a 3-4 defender who's waiting for you if Donovan Mitchell comes over here. Who already has ties through Brunson and has ties through Mitchell. So you can always find what you need. You can't always find a star.
Right. That's the point that I've been saying all summer is it's not about where you select, it's about the selector. Right? Like it's not all about just grabbing the DJ, it's about how dope the DJ is. You know what I'm saying? That's what I've been saying the whole time. Like, you don't have to tank for great talent. You just gotta make sure you select the right talent when it's your turn to choose. Right? And would Eric Pascal be a nice piece for the Knicks? I think so.
You don't need him to do much. A defender off the bench,
right? A great pinch post passer.
Play with Brunson from Villanova. They already had chemistry with them.
My only deal is he in shape?
I mean, he's been playing in Utah.
I don't know what that mean though. What's that mean though, Jay?
That he had great development.
I guess he played NBA games. That's all I can say. I guess I don't know.
That's all. Jay. Yo, that was hilarious. He was like, "Yeah, that's all I got. I can't say if he in shape or not. That's all I got." Yeah, you know what I'm saying? But yeah, the thing is with the Donovan Mitchell deal, stay into. If you're the Knicks, you don't want to give up everything. Right, you have to make a smart approach here, right? But at the same time, you got to be aggressive, right? So for those that are saying, man, I might be on too much of the side of positive. Just want to say this. you don't want to give up the farm for Donovan Mitchell or any player for that matter, right? But what you do have to consider is what is the farm, right? Are you building your future? Think about this, not with rose-colored glasses, right? Or not even with corrective lenses. Just think about this and your natural ability to see the game. Are you saying you're going to turn down a Donovan Mitchell deal for Obi Toppin? Is that what we are as Knicks fans, that we'll turn down a deal for a star because we want to keep Obi? Chop, what you think? Would you do that?
I'm keeping Obi.
Miss Geraldine McIver said this earlier. Is a once in a lifetime chance, and the opportunity is here. She said it in the chat. You know, you got to pay to play. We might have to give up something for a star. We don't get a star all the time, and he wants to come here.
Right.
And I know you said this the other day. Is getting Spider, would that be a next Melo situation? I pretty much doubt we have to get the whole team out, but I'm pretty sure. I know Leon Rose done dealt with Danny Ainge many a years in the past, right? So I know something is in the works. And what Soulfinger said, man, these guys are doing things accordingly. And what you were saying, we on fear and scared. And I think as Knicks fans is because we have PTSD. It's like, you know, what they say, we're humans and like the military, we fear and we scared of what we don't know or don't understand. Because we don't know and we don't understand. So we in fear and we scared about, well, we don't want to give up this and that. But yes, granted, Grimes he has great potential. It's good. He could develop somewhere else. He could probably come back after his rookie contract. I don't know. But for a chance to get a star, Miss Geraldine is correct. We have to, you know what I'm saying? Listen, you guys already know this. And I know all the debate and conversation is, you know, you got to pay to play. It costs to be the boss. And Soulfinger said, "Scared money don't make no money." When you roll the dice,
money don't make no money.
Let me remember Ashy Larry?
Yeah. Hey, Chop, guess what? The next time you're able to go in the draft and pick a 4-year college player that has experience that can play the D and 3, guess he's going to be the next guy that people are going to love. You find these guys every year in the draft. Yeah, that's still not going to stop you from getting them.
You see? Right. I mean, we might get. Listen, the next draft we might get somebody that's probably a better shooter than Grimes, if you will. So, I mean, the opportunity is here now. And I saw CP, the franchise. I think he Instagram or tweeted something. He said, "Leon Rose ain't playing. He's not pulling. He's pulling out the gun right now to shoot. He's shooting for Spider." I saw that earlier before you got on. You was on vibes and stuff. So we don't even know what's going on. They probably got something cooking up right now.
Yeah, you know, you said that, Chop. It's like this. If he doesn't make a move, then somebody will be like, man, you didn't even make a move to do anything. What are you doing?
Exactly.
You know?
And then the Celtics fan that was in here, and you know what? I was like, "Oh, you trolling?" He's like, "No." But I agree with him. We can't even let the Heat, because the Heat is in contentions to grab him.
And Donovan Mitchell. Riley is shrewd.
I'm going to come in this chat, cry for the next 4 or 5 years that we can't beat the Heat because they got Donovan
Mitchell, exactly.
Right.
So I mean, but you know what though? It's no matter what, it's gonna be damned if you do, damned if you don't. So damn it, just do it. That's the way I look at it. So I mean, like I said, I'm taking a stance with Freezy on this, and I'm just gonna let it all unfold and see how it plays out.
Yes, sir.
That's all you can do.
Yes, sir.
But you got a chance. Hey, Freeze, I got to reach back in your knowledge. You remember when Earl of Pearl came and all the talk about Earl of Pearl and Clyde playing together said it wasn't going to work, right?
Right.
I'm not saying that this is the Earl of Pearl situation. So before anybody say that in the chat, I don't even know what they're saying because I ain't even looking at the chat. But I'm not saying that, comparing them to Earl of Pearl and Walt. I'm not doing that. Earl of Pearl and Clyde, that's next level. But what I'm saying is, you're saying you got these two players that play the same position. It can't work. It's like they're saying with the size. And I know some people probably saying, well, Size don't matter. Because I was on the size thing too. I'm not gonna lie about it. I do have my trepidation about size. I'm not gonna lie. It's always going to be a little bit be there. But until you see that product hit the floor, then we'll see. Because you gotta you Tibbs, front office, everybody positive. You gotta make the course corrections and see who does what. When the W now, if you start racking up W's, hey, nobody's gonna give a damn about a height. They're gonna be curious about those W's. And then you get these players you get all-star. You get a couple of players. If you get three, just hypothetical, the Knicks get 3 players to go to the all-star. That's just saying a hypothetical. Because it could happen. It's happened before with teams. But who's to say it couldn't happen? I mean, granted, politics and everything, we're talking about the Knicks. But just saying, just roll with me on this.
Yes, sir.
Just roll with me on this. You get 3 players to go to the 2 to 3 players to go to the all-star this year. Are we gonna complain about it then?
No.
So what I'm saying is we're talking about what we don't know right now. Just let it play out. That's all. Because granted, my concern still is gonna be a long athletic wing like GI's brought up, because that's one thing I do like. You're gonna need that. But was it I think Eddie, I don't know if Eddie's back, but he brought up Donovan Mitchell's wingspan, right? Okay, he may not be as tall, but them long arms can make a difference. And you got a cat that can just go, he can go unconscious and drop 30 in a blink of an eye.
Yo, everybody listen up. Everybody listen up. Bring your ears closer to the speakers. Donovan Mitchell's 25, 26 points per game. He hasn't hit his prime yet. Exactly. What are you guys complaining about?
Exactly. Hey, AJ, but we make it seem like making Donovan Mitchell look like he's an old man. And I know it's the fear of what we got to give up. Right now, Ainge won't picks, and it's a certain young player we're going to have to give up, maybe give up 2 or whatever. We'll see. But somebody and I like Grimes. I like Obi. However, if it's a player that I can get to take us a step closer to the end game, then I'm going to do that. I'm not saying it's going to put us over the top and all of a sudden we're going to be world beaters, but we're looking better than we were the day before if you're giving up couple of young role players for a guy that's still young.
And if for some crazy reason somebody else is unhappy where they're at, they're not going to say, man, that boy Quentin Grimes is good in New York. Right. They ain't going to say that. They're going to be like, yo, Donovan, what's up?
Yeah.
It's a calculated risk. We have to take it. Without risk, there's no reward. Without risk, there's no reward.
Right.
Soldier said it.
Right. That's just, it's just how things work, bro. Sorry. It's just how things are. I'm putting together a sheet for y'all to look at, bro. Right? I'm putting together a sheet for everybody to look at, for you to consider. Right? Right. So I'm putting together a trade offer that I think y'all would take. Y'all go ahead and rock. I'm gonna put this together, then I'm gonna put it on the screen. Right?
All right, but I want to ask too. If you're doing that too, does anybody did like those trade machines things to be like, well, ESPN have a trade machine, or what's them trade machine things people be doing to boop boop, what will work? I don't know. Are you doing that?
No, I'm not. It's just you don't know what Utah wants. You don't even know if they want big contracts back. They might just want a bunch of picks and expiring contracts. So we just can't sit here and say we know what they would want. It's just we got to see what the Knicks are willing to give up.
Yeah, you got to wait till the rest of the information comes out. Because what's happening is a lot of folk are putting out there in their head, you making this up, and then you bringing undue stress and anxiety and angst because they're in talks. So and things could fall apart in the talks. So that's why I'm saying, hey, just pull an Aaron Rodgers and just relax.
Just relax.
This was the same thing before free agency started. Everybody was like, man, Brunson too small. I don't want him here. I want to see IQ play. Well, we're going to pay Brunson how much? Now that Brunson's here, you hear, oh, he shot this much from the field. He's come on, man. It's enough with the back and forth.
And KD. Okay.
Go ahead, Chop.
No, because it's going to take a lot for a team to get KD. It's gonna be a lot, right? So, that's a different situation. For Mitchell, it might even be that much. Like you said, we don't even know.
Yeah. See, my thing was I didn't want us to go after an agent superstar. You're going after a name. That's one thing I didn't want us to fall in the trap, which we're not doing. And then you got a chance to go after somebody young. Now, my thing with Bronson, yeah, I was kind of standoffish, like, well, we'll see a little bit, but I'd say, but shout out to my man, talking to my man Alawaz and DSJ, we were talking about it, and I kept thinking about it, and I had to go back and look. I had to do my part. See, that's the thing. I had to do my part, go back and look and do a little research and everything. And one of the thing is once you look at it, yeah, his numbers went down when Luka was on the court, but you saw his numbers went up when he did have Luka, when he was able to run it.
Right.
So that was one of the things for me right there. I had to do my part and look at it. And then too, the man wants his own team. He wants to do anyway, it's something new. As I always, I'm sticking to that. It's new and it's undiscovered country because we hadn't seen moves like this.
And I like that statement, that analogy. Yes, I like that.
Yeah, it's just new. That's all it is.
Hey,
you don't know.
Welcome, fellas.
Salute.
What's going
on?
What's up, Hector?
Salute.
How you doing, man?
Eddie C, what is good? Chop low, soul finger. I miss your players.
I miss you too, HQ.
Hope all is well. Hope all is well. Chilling, baby. Uncle Freezy, thank you for stopping by this morning as well, Unc.
No doubt. No doubt.
How do you feel about the new Met how you feel about the new Met that we're acquiring today?
Wait, pardon me, I couldn't hear because Chop Low.
How do you feel about the new Met that we're acquiring today?
The new Met, Jesus Christ! Listen, I just had a heart attack because the Yankees just signed Tyler Wade. I had a meltdown on stream.
Wow, you was looking at Benintendi?
Oh God, I was hoping the Yankees would get Benintendi, but that whole thing just blew up in the face.
But you know why, right? Because of the vaccination.
Yeah.
I mean, you're gonna go to a playoff game. We need him to go play. We don't need him to stay
players.
at home.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
let's go Knicks, baby.
So first of all, it was a pleasure being on the Yankees Morning Brew. For those that don't know about the channel, it's simple: Yankees Morning Brew. Right? Check them out. You check them out. I don't know how to pronounce the name. Is it Dejan?
No, it's Knights of Degen, like degenerate. So it's Knights of Degen YouTube channel. Yeah, Knights of Degen. Okay. If you guys are into like virtual online betting or virtual gambling, Knights of Degen is where you want. On Fridays, they do the virtual horse betting, virtual fighting, and everything. So if that's something that you're into, Knights of Degen, Yankees Morning Brew, come on, join the conversation.
That's a big market, brother. I work in that business, and
it's a part of the FCF. If you guys are familiar with the Fan Control Football League that just had his second season, the team that I'm associated with is a team that T.O. was playing with. So it's a great opportunity. Shout out to the guys at KOD that gave me this chance. Like I said, Freezy, if it wasn't for you, I would have never got this opportunity. So thank you, brother.
Yeah, man. No doubt, bro. No doubt. Man, it was a pleasure going to hang out for a few minutes. You know what I'm saying? I kind of felt the love over there immediately. Like I was like, wow, I'm feeling like I belong here. You know what I'm saying? But and I appreciate that. The Yankee talk kind of hurt my tongue some. Kind of felt like I was eating thorns. But
like glass?
Yeah, I was chewing glass. Yeah. But anything I could do to talk to at least some Mets. You know me. Let's go Mets.
Of course, right? Of course.
But
where's my plate at, Chop?
Yeah, man. Hey, so I got a thing I want to show you. I worked on something just briefly. I have a rough thing I want to show everybody, right? I'm going to bring this up, and I want to get your opinion on it. So I'm going to share the screen just for a few moments, right? I'm going to share the screen. I want y'all to look at this, right? And I don't know if you can see it fully, but basically, look at what you're talking about the Knicks having, right? And I forgot Farron Hunt. Let me add Farron Hunt here too. So Farron Hunt, right?
Yeah, the two-way player we got.
Yeah, and Trevor Keels. Let me add Trevor Keels here too.
Damn, Freezy, I don't want to mess with you, bro. But we gotta match monies, right?
I understand what you're saying about the matching monies, right? But
that ain't gonna do it.
Yeah, that's not gonna do it because Mitchell is at 30 point something. But Eddie C, but listen, the reason why I put this up here is not because this is the trade offer, right? The reason why I put this up here is for you to look at the pieces that we could possibly move.
Okay.
Right? The pieces that we could possibly move.
Okay.
So we can switch any of these guys up here in this lineup here, except for the guys that can't be traded. Mitchell Robinson can't be included. Hartenstein can't be included. Jericho Sims can't be included. Farron Hunt can't be included. Jalen Brunson, of course, can't be included. But what I wanted y'all to do is look at this and tell me what you guys think. We want to put this thing on paper so that we can at least temper the expectations of what the roster would look like. Because what we can do now that we have this stuff here on the screen, what we can do is move pieces in and out, right? In and out. And man, somebody got some feedback going on, man. But yeah. So we can at least temper. Oh, I don't like that view. What we can do is temper. Do away with all the nonsense, basically. Right? Do away with the nonsense and get down to the nitty gritty of a real deal. So what I would ask, I want one person from you guys, one person from the chat, from the virtual chat, to tell me what the deal looks like. And what I'll do is I'll move the pieces around to make it fit on the screen, and then we can all judge. Anybody up for that? Anybody want to be Leon Rose?
Yeah, sure. I'll go first.
Okay.
The only thing that jumps out at me is that either one of Evan Fournier or Julius has to go to next salaries match.
Right. That's what I was about to say.
Okay. All right. So let's do it. So let's say it's Fournier.
Let's say it's Evan Fournier, yeah, because his contract is shorter.
Yeah, let's say it's Fournier, right? We'll take Fournier and add Fournier here. Okay, why didn't Fournier go there? Let me see. Copy. And then do that. Okay. So Fournier is now included in the trade. Do you want to remove a player now that you added Fournier?
I would leave Cam Reddish behind.
Yes.
You would keep Cam?
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So we'll take Cam Reddish out.
I just don't see Utah messing with extensions right now when they're trying to get off a lot of money and rebuild with the picks.
Correct.
So Quickly's contract, Obi's contract, Grimes' contract is very team friendly for them.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So the joint froze up on me. Okay. All right. There it is.
So that pushes Reddish into that Fournier, Farron Hunt role where he's the defender, maybe first wing off the bench to play with Rose or whoever else you bring.
Okay. All right. So you removed him and added. All right. So Cam Reddish is here, and Fournier is here. All right. So now, you have 18. Oh, I'm sorry. You have 18, 21, 25, 27. So we're still short on bread. So Donovan Mitchell makes 30. We got 27 in salary. What do you have to swap
Deuce?
out?
You can add Deuce.
You can add Deuce.
You're gonna add Deuce McBride? I didn't even have Deuce McBride up here. Why did I have Deuce McBride up here?
And that makes it work because you could either be a couple mil before 30, or you can go all the way up to 120% from Mitchell, which is 38 million. So Utah can take in 38 million, or the Knicks can be a little bit under because Utah's a tax team.
I actually did it on Trade Machine, and just Evan Fournier and Quentin Grimes works for Donovan Mitchell straight up.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, so it doesn't have
Evan
to be
Fournier and Quentin Grimes work. All right, so what entices Utah? Because if I remove Obi and Quickly, will Utah do a deal? Because don't look at the picks first. I just want to that was just a template, right?
It's very hard not to think about the picks because if you're keeping Quickly and Obi, that means I'm more okay with shelling out more picks because I have
No. What I'm saying is one step at a time. Get the players right first, and then we'll talk about the picks. Is what I'm saying. I'm not saying don't add picks. That's not what I'm saying. But like for instance, if Grimes and Fournier works, right? Do you add them? And I understand what you're saying. Like, man, if that's the case, man, are you? For instance, Jay, how many first round picks are you looking to come off of, and what would be the protections on those first round picks?
How many we got? We got 8, right?
A bunch of them. Got a
would
bunch of
Fournier,
them.
Derrick Rose, and Quentin Grimes work, and you keep Quickly? Because then they could just buy out Derrick Rose and he could go wherever he wants to.
I think we only got 8 trades that could be. I think we only got 8 draft picks that could be traded.
Because you can't trade no more past in 5 years. So we have 8 picks in the next 5 years that we can use.
Right.
At 11 for 7.
Right.
I wouldn't mind doing Fournier, Grimes, and let's say Derrick Rose and a couple picks, and they could just buy out Rose, same way they did. Who just
I
got
like to
one?
keep Rose.
Rose is $14 million. I think. But he's expiring.
Yeah. If you add Derrick Rose, now you're giving them too much salary because
What
Derrick
would
Rose.
you,
Yeah, now you're talking about giving them $38 million, and the dude's salary is only 30.
do you
Isn't
think?
14
Let me
and
see.
17, right?
Is Mike Conley an expiring, or does he have 2 years left?
Bogdanovich is expiring and Clarkson is expiring. Clarkson is the same contract as Rose, 14 million.
So maybe Utah wants to add Conley in there to get off his money from next year, and then that way we would have to give him Derrick Rose.
Let's see. Spot track. Let me double check that. Let me double check that just to make sure we.
I know Bog is 19 expiring. He's 19 mil. And I can see him working as a shooter here.
All right.
And then we can either find a third trade partner for Conley or buy him out.
So Mike Conley has 2 years left, or 3 years left, right? Mike Conley has, 2 years left, right? At $47 million. Bogdanovich isn't expiring. Malik Beasley has 2 years left. And Jordan Clarkson has 27 mil left. So he's got 2 years left. And I'm just talking about the significant deals. I'm not talking about just randoms. Patrick Beverly isn't expiring. Rudy Gay has 2 years left at 6 mil, but that's nothing. That's nothing. So if you're Utah, though, why would you trade away an expiring contract instead of just letting the contract expire and getting the cap space?
Right.
Conley isn't expiring until after next, though.
Yeah. No, I'm talking about Bogdanovich.
Yeah, no, Bogdanovich. No, none of the expiring contracts are getting moved. None of the. What do you say? What do you call these guys? Beverly's and Bogdanovich's. None of those guys. Both of those guys can probably stay.
Right.
They're trying to get off Conley, Mitchell, and Clarkson. Those are the two. But Clarkson has value, so Clarkson can be dealt alone.
Right.
Beasley and Conley are players that can be added to a Mitchell deal, and even Beasley because he has 15 million. Maybe that's even better because they got 2 years left.
Yeah, the 2 years guys, the 2 year guys. You think the Knicks are going to take on those bad contracts in order to help Utah in this deal? That means if they do that, though,
I keep Quickly.
Yeah, it's a favor for a favor.
See, when you put this up on the screen now, Freezy, it more solid, improved. It kind of backs you up, saying that we're more in the driver's seat than we think. You know what I mean? Because I don't believe that even if they was trying to shop Mitchell to Miami has to blow up their whole team to get him. Their bench would be gone.
Right.
I don't think Miami's a competition to us at all.
Nah.
Because if
I
they're
don't
trying to
think so.
sell $90 million of Duncan Robinson, you can just say, hey, here's $2 or $3 million of Quentin Grimes.
Right.
Nah, we're in a good position. We're
Yeah,
in a real good position, man.
we're in the driver's seat. We're in the driver's seat of a two-seater right now.
Right.
Right. Right. No doubt. No
Just
doubt.
us and Danny Ainge in the car. And you
Yeah,
got to
and
remember, he just got that job. He's trying to keep a job too.
Right. Right. Yeah, no doubt.
Freezy, who's at center now for the Utah Jazz?
The kid they drafted from Auburn.
Wembanya, then whatever.
No, the kid they drafted from
Walker
Auburn.
Kessler, the rookie Walker Kessler, they got
Victor Wembanya.
They hope
Oh,
so.
that's next year.
They
That's
would
next
love
year.
it. Yeah, they would love.
What if
for
they
him
ask
to
for Mitchell Robinson in the trade?
Nah, that's not.
Can't do anything because Mitchell
We just
signed his
resigned him.
contract.
Yeah, we just
You
resigned
can't
him.
get rid of. You can't move him until like either December or January, one of the two.
All of our
Yeah, that's
bigs
not gonna
are
work.
here to stay.
And
All
for
of
the
the
people
bigs are here
that
to stay.
and for the people that think that the lineup is small, the guard rotation is small, Mitchell Robinson right now, his value is skyrocketed on the New York Knicks because they're going to need that height at the rim to protect just in case
You're right.
people do get by them.
Yo, Eddie, you mentioned that, and it makes me feel like they signed Mitchell to that contract knowing that this was going to come down the pipe.
They signed
just
all
makes
these
me feel
guys.
that way.
Jericho, their center position is straight. Like
Yeah, they know they're going to have to have elite rim protection if they're going to bring these two guys in.
Right, and so all the guys in red are guys that we can't trade.
Okay.
Gotcha.
Yeah, man.
Freezy, do you think it's an urgency from Utah to get this deal done before the season start, before it plays out during the season? Because if the season was to start with Donovan Mitchell and say like they start losing, they're under 500, do you think it's an emphasis on them they need to do it right now to maximize what they can get from him, or we could just wait on it?
No, so for one, I think neither side can wait.
Mm-hmm.
Right, and the reason why I'm just going to take this down for a second, so we can get the faces back on the screen. So I think that so for one, hey Chop, you got so
hey fellas, y'all be easy. I got to take off. I'll be listening to you in the back.
Soulfinger.
All right, Soulfinger.
Soulfinger, love you, Unc. Later, baby.
All right, bro. Easy,
see you, bro.
Yeah, man. And so for one, Utah has the
Don't worry, take it
off.
I gotta bring wire tomorrow. Yeah, he ain't gonna be here today. Oh, sorry, guys.
Oh, yeah. So you got a Utah has the All-Star game this year, and what you don't want to drag into a situation that's supposed to be good vibes is drama.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying. So I think the urgency is on Utah because Utah know a trade is imminent, right? Utah fans not dumb. You know what I'm saying? They read the same media we read. They get Bleacher Report just like us. They get Twitter just like us.
Before, like we spoke about.
Utah been through this before, bro. You know what I'm saying? It's not like the Knicks are pressuring them into a.
He froze.
Oh, Freeze! It froze.
Yeah, he's done.
Freeze! You're frozen. Freeze.
I'm back. I saw it. I saw the circle of death when I saw the circle of death. I was like, no. You know what I'm saying?
Yo, Freeze! You know who I could also see coming back if we give up Obi?
y'all.
I can really see Rudy Gay coming back and being that backup to Julius.
I'll take.
See, but the thing is that's a good contract. That's 2 years, $6 million. So
I'm pretty sure
you have
Rudy
to,
Gay as a veteran don't want to be at Utah for a losing team.
Yeah, but it's something that is feasible where you can say to him, listen, we're going through this, but we gave you a contract. We want you to stick around. Help us with the kids or whatever the case is. If I was Utah, I wouldn't trade. He wouldn't be the ones that I'm trying to trade. The ones that I'm trying to trade, it would be Mike Conley and Michael Beasley.
Right. The long-term deals, the big long-term deals.
Yeah.
Right. Those are the guys that I'm trying to get off, and I think Jaren Clarkson, he has value enough where I can trade him for even a first-round pick and something 2 seconds or something. He has value on his own. he has standalone value. I don't know how much.
Wouldn't be shocked. I wouldn't be shocked if Rudy Gay comes back also.
I mean, if you have to make money, but we're the ones that's actually trying to get up to the money to make it happen.
Right. So
I don't think we would have an issue getting up there.
So in order
just
for you
depends
to
on what you want to give up.
So in order for you to do it though, now you got to include Derrick Rose potential expiring. Right? Now you got to give up Derrick Rose's expiring when you could have just easily just let Derrick Rose expire in the offseason and then look to trade Evan Fournier's expiring deal going into next season.
But then
right?
Because you got to match the deal. You're opening up the door for quickly to get the backup PG role.
Mm-hmm. But I don't know when I don't know if we can take on all those heavy contracts without giving up Randall, Fournier, and Rose. That's what you're gonna have to give up in order to match the money.
Fournier's at 17 and Derrick Rose at 14, so that's what
14 and a half. Yeah.
That's what 31.
That's 31.5 million, right?
That number's match.
But no, the number
that matches with Rudy Gay because Donovan and Rudy Gay is 36.
Gotta cut
Derrick
$2
Rose.
million.
Yeah, somebody they gotta give up somebody else. Who they gonna get rid of?
But the thing is that Rudy Gay is only $6 million a year. That's not a bad contract for what you're getting. That's what I'm saying.
Well, let me put it to you like this, guys.
When you do Toppin, Fournier, Grimes, and Rose, that equals what, 35, 36?
Equals 40. And
but we can go over. They can take in over 120.
But if that's the trade, right? Like if we do Fournier, Rose, Obi, and Grimes, discounting the picks that we would have to give that's 40 million. And for the trade to work, we would have to take back Donovan Mitchell and Michael Beasley.
Right. And so, but here's the thing, too, guys, that you have to remember: a team that's tanking and is in the lottery, the bad business position to be in is operating as an over the cap team. Why be in tank mode and operate over the salary cap at the same time? It defeats the purpose. It just kills your rebuild. It's like driving on a flat tire. Sure, you're going somewhere, but now you're ruining the car. You know what I'm saying?
See, Eddie, go ahead. My bad, Freeze.
Yeah. So if you're Utah, you ask the Knicks, you tell the Knicks, like, listen, we would take back less first round picks if you take on more salary. If we can dump this salary to you, our requirement of draft picks would be less, right? Mm-hmm. So if we operate over, and so if you take on more, give us more salary cap flexibility in the long run, we won't ask you for those draft picks down the road. Now we would take a deal that's like, 4 first round picks and a bunch of second round picks instead of asking you for 5 or 6 first round picks and no second round picks. Because because what happens is it gives them the flexibility to sign in the offseason or to trade for a guy, right? But if you make them operate over the cap, you definitely get ready to give up 7 to 8 first round picks.
Yeah, I know. Right? I know.
Both teams got to win. One team can't go in and just eat up the other team. It's just not gonna happen.
Yeah, I know for a fact because these numbers stuck in my head when I heard it. With Donovan Mitchell at 30, the Knicks as a team can take back 38 million in salary. We can take back more than we have to shell out.
That's correct.
So for us to be a little bit under, I think it needs to be like 27 or 28 to make the deal legal. So we can still maneuver around if the numbers go up to 36 million, if we include Rudy Gay. So that means what? From 38 add to 6, we just have to make up to 44. We can take back 44.
Okay. I feel you. I understand where you're coming from, but the only thing though is, why would Utah not take a first round pick instead of just keeping Rudy Gay? Because they can't trade Rudy Gay for a first round pick on the open market. So why send him just for cap space when you can include Mike Conley's contract, right? And then tell the Knicks, nah, that 2028 first round pick that we was going to ask you for, we'll pass on that if you take Mike Conley contract.
I don't know.
But can we waive Mike Conley after we get him or no?
We'll keep him.
Yeah, we can do that.
God first.
Is he washed, Freezy?
But why would you when Why would you when you don't have a backup point guard?
Oh, so we getting rid of Derrick Rose, so we want to keep a vet.
Or something. It depends. You got to explore all the options. Like before we waive Conley, let's see what we gave up first, right? Because last year Derrick Rose was our backup, and guess what? He got hurt, and so we had no point guard.
Oh, worst case scenario, a playoff team comes knocking at your door around playoff time. Deadline time and say, "Hey, we're interested in Conley. We can offer you this young player."
And Hector, that's why I think it's that both teams would be in a rush to get the deal done, because the 60-day window, you got to keep a player for a certain amount of days before you can trade them, and you want to make sure that player is eligible to be traded at the trade deadline. Yeah, that's the reason. That's another reason why I would say.
That's probably the most important, because say you get back a Fournier, he has value, standalone value, where you can trade him and still get assets. You could get a young player, you can get picks. So he's somebody that they might look into for that reason. You know what I mean?
Lord forbid LeBron James loses his point guard going into the playoffs, or let's say Philly needs a point guard going into the playoffs. You can always flip Conley to one of these teams. You can snatch one of their young players. You can snatch them at these Tybalt, or you can snatch somebody from the Lakers, an old pick, and you basically turn Conley into something.
I wouldn't. If I'm Utah, I wouldn't give up Conley, because he has standalone. Like, I'm trying to get off Beasley first.
Right.
I'm trying to get off Beasley first,
because Beasley is a threat to your young players. He can block some of those young players that you have, because he's a decent NBA player.
And he's had a checkered past.
Right.
You don't know if that's something that you want in the organization, but if you pawn him off on somebody, that's part of the yin and yang of making this deal. Like, you're gonna have to take unwanted things.
He could be your shooter off the bench too, also.
Right, but I'm thinking more of the locker room deal. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
I'm thinking, because I always want to keep that intact. I always want to keep that 100.
Like,
it's gonna really hurt. It's gonna really hurt having to give up Obi, but
the Knicks wanted to sign Beasley.
Both. I don't know if Freezy said this, but both have to shed blood.
Yeah.
You
got to play. It's gonna be on both sides. It's gonna be losses. Yeah,
it's gonna sting both ways.
Yeah, it's like surgery, man. It's in order to get healthy long term, the doctor got to cut on you.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? So you make a temporary wound to heal to heal a permanent wound. It's just what it is.
And I know before
it's like the Yankees. It's like the Yankees and the Mets. The Yankees have to play second fiddle to the Mets, but they still get shine.
Oh,
gotta make sacrifices sometimes.
Yeah, best record in baseball. We got to play second fiddle. Oh yeah.
Yeah, man.
Yep.
It's because the Yankees uniforms are ugly and they breath stink.
Wait, hold up. Biggie said, I got stripes in New York like Yankees uniform.
You can always go to the breath stink. That's the kill shot right there.
That's a NEC. That's a classic schoolyard. Your breath stinks.
Yeah. You whatever. You came at me with the hardest dish, but your breath stink.
Yo, Hector, you and Freezy need to have a show with y'all two just going at it, Mets and Yankees.
Yeah.
Man, listen, whatever Freezy want, man.
You walk away from that combo like that.
That'd be pretty cool.
Really stink, man.
Where you start second guessing yourself, like, I know I brushed my teeth and I used the Listerine, but what it is?
Should have lost.
Halitosis.
Lost.
Yeah, man. Hey, so
Freezy, you think Utah? My apologies for cutting you off, Freezy.
No.
Do you think Utah, especially with Danny Ainge's history, do you think they're going to want talent back or more draft pick backs? What do you think is going to move the bar when it comes to this deal? Is it going to be the draft picks, or is it going to be the young assets, the young players coming back?
He is going to want the most attractive asset on the open market, right? So because all first round picks are not built the same, right? Like the pick we got from Milwaukee, that's not as good as attractive as the Knicks first round pick. You know what I'm saying? He's gonna want the player that he could flip in a deal to get more assets. So is Obi Toppin that pick? I think so. I think there's an Obi Toppin type thing on the open market where people would love to see Obi in a situation where he can get minutes. I think Obi is gone. And listen, I like Obi.
Damn, me too,
I
man.
think Emmanuel quickly won't be. I think Emmanuel quickly won't be gone because even though he's a quality NBA player, I think he doesn't have that je ne sais quoi that you could get from a young. You know what I'm saying? Like for instance, Miles Bridges is a sleazeball, right? A sleazeball. But on Friday nights when your fan base is half drunk and you playing your rival at home and he getting open court, you gonna get more beer sales, bro. Because Miles Bridges is gonna throw down that fancy open court dunk. More beer over here. Bring on the beer. You know what I'm saying? Work the waitress. And I'm sorry, they're not called waitresses. I think they call section attendants. You're gonna work the section attendant half to death, bringing back the beer, right? And so I think that's the reason why I think that's the reason why Obi would be more attractive. It's the reason why the potential to get a Cam Reddish would be more attractive because you can sell your fan base on potential. Look what I robbed the Knicks for, right? And so with that said, I hate for it to sound like I'm dodging the question, but ultimately what Danny Ainge wants to do is bring in a Larry Bird, Kevin McHale type situation. Bring in a Clyde Drexler, Terry Porter type situation. You bring in a Stockton and Malone, right? Bring in a Darren Williams, AK-47 type. Bring in a Jaylen Brown, Jason Tatum type scenario, right? In Utah. Bring them in young so the fan base can rally around them and they have two foundation pieces that they can build around long term. What hurt Utah is when they got Donovan Mitchell, they didn't bring in an elite wing player to play with him. In today's NBA, whether it got the same result or not, people just want two young wing players. They feel like that's the future. Whether it be a shooting guard and small forward or a small forward and a power forward, they just want those two guys. Well, like think about how where Memphis is right now, right? Memphis is winning as a team, but they win without Ja, right?
Yeah.
I think they have the same or better win percentage without Ja Morant on the floor, but they loved Ja, right? Look at New Orleans. New Orleans made the playoffs without Zion, right? But they love Zion, right? They love the box office thing, right? And so I think Danny Ainge in those small market teams, they need that because ultimately survival is about ticket sales and not say TV revenue and all that stuff. So these teams have to have these guys. The Milwaukee's have to have the Giannis's, right? The Memphis's have to have the Jazz. The New Orleans have to have the Zions, right? The Atlantas, they have to have the Trey Youngs, right? And it's just is what it is. New York don't have to have that because we're gonna sell tickets regardless. It's like the Yankees. It's like the Yankees. The Yankees don't need star power. The Yankees fans don't care about stars. They want to win, right?
So we're saying that Utah's cutting out their team, though. Basically, they want to start.
They want to do what, Chop?
They want to start. They want to start anew. Definitely, they want to start anew.
They want to.
The most valuable thing for Utah at this point in time is getting rid of all their good players so they can be bad enough to start from scratch and get good players through the draft. And they're on a course right now. If they get rid of Donovan Mitchell, Mike Conley, and Jordan Clarkson to be bad for the next 3 years, and be back on top within the next 7.
Right.
You know another asset that we have that's not getting much talk that I think is very valuable is this year's Washington pick. With every passing day, I think that pick becomes more valuable because they do have a talented team. And it's not out of the realm of possibility for them to make the playoffs. Now, you're talking about Utah tanking and them getting the Minnesota pick, plus maybe the Washington pick and a loaded 2023 draft. That's a valuable asset. That pick can be anywhere between 14 to 20.
Those picks are valuable. I think the one that Freezy mentioned about the Milwaukee is probably the least desirable of the picks, but all the picks that we got are valuable. You just have to read the fine print, and people jump out the window as soon as they hear, "Oh, we traded protected picks, this and that." That Washington pick is probably the most desirable of the picks.
Yeah, because it
Second,
could be happening
Detroit.
right now. Yeah.
Secondly, Detroit, and then thirdly, would probably be the Milwaukee pick.
Right.
Because it's not
But
crazy to
I
Utah
think
think like I
I
can
think
get a
Jay, and
top
all in
5
all,
pick.
those picks are going to be gone.
Yeah, I don't.
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
all of
that's
them.
why I'm not sweating it. I'm okay with giving them up. I just could see them thinking logically like, we can have a top 5 pick with our own picks because we're gonna tank. We can possibly have a pick in the teens and another pick in the 20s with the Wolves in the loaded 2023 draft, not including the Knicks pick. That's a lot of ammunition for you to move around in the loaded 2023 draft.
Right. The only pick that I'm trying to hold on to is the 2023 Knicks pick.
Right.
I'm not even gonna put anything out there. It'd be nice, but I don't. He's gonna get what he wants.
Right. I understand.
Yeah.
I get that.
When it
Like,
comes to
it'd
the
be
picks,
nice, but
when it
I'm
comes to the
trying to
picks.
hold on to that one. Like,
But he
I'd
said
rather give him
he
future
wants.
first.
He said he wants though. He said he wants. He didn't say it was mandatory.
Yeah, it's not
I
mandatory.
can see the conversation more leaning towards the players than the picks. I think the Knicks are more willing to give away the picks than the players that they're going to negotiate.
Okay.
Because, like I said before, we got as of right now, there's 12 guys on our roster that we like. If we don't do this deal with Utah, we're gonna put these picks at. And that's Cam and Sims on the outside looking in.
Well, they've actually. I don't know. I don't remember who said this, but I heard that when Leon Rose was an agent, he was the one that invented like a whole bunch of like things that have been going around in the NBA, like players leaving to other destinations, and then when you had to sign with your team, players getting the contracts and then leaving after they got paid. Like, he's a very, very shrewd businessman. And I think he invented something else where you have all these second round picks and you have all these first round picks. So if you have to give out money to get a free agent, you can use these picks as the chips to get off the money and then sign your free agent. You know what I'm saying? It doesn't have to always be I have to get 5, 6, 7 picks to make a trade for a superstar. You can trade, and it's actually cheaper this way, the way that he's doing it, because you only have to attach one pick to get off of a Burks and a Noel contract, and then you can sign a Jalen Brunson. You see what I'm saying? Instead of giving up 5 picks for the direct trade from the player. So he kind of invented this thing where you're adding assets to the money to get off of the money, so then you can sign, because you have the cachet where you could talk to these players, because he's doing what we said he was always going to do. He was going to bring in the players, right? This year, if he gets in Donovan Mitchell, it's a full-fledged swoop where he brought in Jalen Brunson. He has Donovan Mitchell. He still has RJ Barrett in the back, and he still has Julius Randle there to be the fourth guy on offense. Who's going to stop Julius Randle now that he has to be played one-on-one?
Nobody.
Ain't nobody going to stop him. No, John Collins ain't gonna stop him. No, ain't nobody gonna stop him.
No Obi Toppins. No, nobody, bro.
You know what I'm saying? Now he don't have to worry about triple teams and double teams. You're gonna triple team Julius Randle and leave open Donovan Mitchell and Jalen Brunson on the other side, and then RJ Barrett slashing to the basket.
Did y'all see Randle? Did y'all see Randle go by Porzingis, bro? If Porzingis legit is a traffic cone to Randle. Pew. And Porzingis is mobile. At 7'3", Porzingis is mobile, bro. Porzingis is not a slouch athletically. You feel me? Porzingis is not a slouch, right?
Another thing, Freeze, that I thought was very interesting during his tenure here. Leon Rose collected a lot of second-round picks. Now, in hindsight, a lot of people don't think much about second-round picks, but as an agent, if you can direct your players to certain teams, that's valuable, because second round picks don't have the guaranteed contracts like first round picks. So if you're later on in the draft, like a Jalen Brunson, who he should have been a first round draft pick, he can tell teams, now don't draft my guy, put him down to the second rounders. They get their bigger money faster. They don't got to wait to the 4th or 5th year to cash in.
Very smart, yeah.
So that's another thing that I think gets swept under the rug. Those high second round picks have a lot of value.
Right. He was 33rd, right? So
yeah,
he was the third pick of the.
We collected
the second. It's not like he was like middle second round pick or late second. When people be like, he's a second rounder, but he was early second. Like He's like
Bro,
somebody
if he
that could
was
have been
6'2"
drafted in the first.
If he was 6'2", he'd have been a lottery pick.
Right.
But that's the thing. Like this year, people were before the year started. People loved Jaden Hardy, and now throughout the process, Jaden Hardy falls into the second round. Now we don't know if his agent directed him that, but now Jaden Hardy can show out the next 2 years, whatever contract he has, he's going to cash into a bigger contract faster than the first round draft pick. So he's ahead of the money.
Yeah,
Dallas
rebounded. Dallas rebounded very well with that Jaden Hardy pick after losing Jalen Brunson.
Gentlemen, good afternoon, good morning for the West Coasters.
What's
I got
up?
a news update, man. I was with Aaron Judge and Stanton, and their breath smelled beautiful. They had beautiful breath, man. It smelled like
Hey, legit, no lie. Aaron Judge does look like his breath smells like roses. He's that type of man. His breath does look like his breath smells like roses, bro.
Yeah, and Giancarlo Stanton looks like a steroid version of Earthworm Jim.
Hey, I remember Earthworm Jim. That used to be the joint, bro. On Super Nintendo, man. I played Earthworm Jim on Super Nintendo, bro. Yeah, man.
Anyway, I'm also jumping on the picks thing. If we have all those picks next year, we can flip them for better picks the following year. So we can always, like take 2 or 3 and say, okay, you want these guys? We'll give you 2 of these first. Next year, give us yours unprotected. Next year or the year after. So we can always shift, kick it down the road a little bit. So they're not necessarily going to go wasted if we have them next year. That's one other option with it. But I'm saying use them to grab Spider right now, but don't be fearful of having too many picks next year, because it's value in pushing them to the next year or the year after and getting even more important picks.
Hey, what time does the Knicks and Magic play? What time they play? Anybody know?
Oh man, that's right.
Isn't it 7:30 Eastern?
PM?
Yes, of course. Yes.
What time is it? God dog it. I thought they were playing like 9.
You know what though?
Okay.
If they say Quentin Grimes not playing tonight,
or Deuce,
Yeah, 7:30 Eastern.
If Deuce is out the lineup tonight,
if Deuce and Grimes, stuff. Yeah,
I'm watching tonight.
It is kind of
music
is
going
it
on.
kind of it's kind of scary because
10 fall hats.
If he does play, that means that they're looking at other players that I really want to keep. You know what I'm saying? So they're gonna keep pulling on our strings for the next couple of days until something gets done. It might get done this afternoon.
If you hear the Knicks say, "Hey, Quentin Grimes, you've done enough," I don't know, man.
He basically played his way out of New York, because probably even the summer league opened some eyes where he's now a valuable asset. Man, I always liked Grimes, man.
Yeah, you heard you saw the ESPN articles, like,
But
these guys.
He'll be forever a legend in my eyes because he bought me Donovan Mitchell.
Hey, there you go. That's how you got to look at it. That's how you got to look at it, Eddie. That's how you look at it, Eddie.
I thought you was going to say he played himself out of summer league. I was like, he played himself out of New York.
That's what I'm saying, man. Like, that was my guy, man.
Eddie, it's just like when we lose in the playoff, we root for the team that eliminated us, right?
Yeah,
unless they
validate us.
Exactly.
It's about validation, bro. Yeah, man. Hey, y'all, man. I'm thinking, man. I gotta wrap here in order to work. Some of us have jobs, man.
Oh man, I heard about that.
Some of us have, and y'all said the game is on at 7:30 Eastern.
7:30 Eastern, yeah.
Dang it. Man, these stupid jobs, bro. That dog it. Huh?
Down like
you're breaking up.
Are you? Yeah, you broke up, bro. I thought you was going to sing "Computer Love." Computer Love. remember the auto tune, Danny? You remember that from the '80s? Do you remember "Computer Love"? I thought you were gonna say "Make a right turn here, Michael." Remember Kit from Knight Rider?
Sounded like T-Pain,
yo. So Freezy, if every single subscriber drop 10 G's in your chat, you quit the job?
No, I would donate that bread to charity.
Oh man, trying
Why
to
you
get
gotta
that.
be
Yeah,
so
I would pick.
serious,
I would pick.
Crazy?
Yeah, I would
They
pick
gotta
some
be so
charity.
serious.
Nah, for
Just
real,
take
for
the
real, man.
money.
Nah, man, I get.
We
Nah,
would,
yeah,
and we would start with
Queens get the
Anthony
money.
A. We would
Hey,
start with
Queen-
Anthony A.
and people
there
are
we
like,
go,
Queens
there
get
we
the
go.
money. Queens get the money. Nah, I would pick somebody like Rayology, and put together some type of thing that we could donate all that every nickel of it to some type of charity. And you know what I'm saying? Like
Yeah, I don't have a.
That that's
I don't
that's
have
a,
a feeling that Donovan Mitchell and IQ when they go to the Met game are gonna look like Ray Shrummer.
Yeah, please don't.
They're like
Please
Swale
don't.
and
Oh,
two
God.
little ass dudes. And I think Q is a Yankee fan.
Yeah.
But he
Hey,
gonna
listen, they
switch
just
up.
gonna make they just gonna make the Mets game more entertaining, Eddie. That's all it is. Because nowadays it's very dry over there.
That's the only part I don't like about having Donovan Mitchell here. He's gonna be at the games. He's gonna be buddy with Lindor and what's the big beefy dude that hits all the home runs?
Alonzo, Polar Bear.
Yeah, him. We gonna make them into rock stars.
Did you know he was Spanish?
I did not know. His mustache looked a little Spaniard.
Spanish adjacent.
His mustache looked a little Spaniard. I didn't know he was Spanish though. Where's he from?
I think his grandfather is from some. I'm not for sure, but I was like Spanish, and then I looked at his last name, Alonso, and then I was okay, all right.
How dumb can we be?
Yeah.
Pete Alonso. Yeah, I got him on my fantasy team.
Yo, another interesting fact. If we get a Brunson, Donovan Mitchell backcourt, it'll cost us $50 million. Bradley Beal at 56. Oh damn.
Oh, nice. Yep.
Yeah,
Exactly.
Damian Lillard at 61. Yeah.
There we go.
All right, so guys, I'm gonna wrap up here so that I can get some work done, and then so I can come back about 7 so that we can live stream the game. So we're gonna do that. So we're gonna be on. Basically, we're gonna be on all day. So I'm gonna leave right now, do some work, get something to eat, walk the dog, hug the wife, come back, right? Hang out during the game. In that live stream, get something to eat, take a break, go smoke a victory cigar because we'll probably be some elite champs after that, or headed in that way, right? And then do the Knicks at Night podcast and rock probably for like 3.5 hours straight.
Well, let's hope you have an emergency live stream if they trade for Donovan Mitchell before then.
Yes. No doubt.
That's what I've been saying. Something might be happening right now.
Right, and I ain't even gonna do no intro. I'm gonna just come straight in and drop the link.
Breaking news.
Come straight in and just drop the link. And
Breaking news.
Yes! I can hear it right now. Yo, my name is I'm Mikey from Long Island, and I just wanted to say I've been a Spider Mitchell fan all my life. Let's go Knicks.
Or you're gonna get the I really wanted to save those picks for somebody else.
Word.
Oh,
Don't start it, Eddie. Eddie, don't start it, Eddie.
Come on. I really, I wanted that cap space.
I've been a Knicks fan since the year 2000, but I've been away for 22 years.
That means people gotta hit the notify button. Hit that like button, hit that notify, subscribe. The notify will get you right on the live stream right away, right? Right, Sweezy?
Yep, no doubt.
Shit.
No doubt.
Business will be good. Waiting for the season to start.
I can hear legit.
Don't do it.
I can hear Richie from Castle Hill. Yo, I'm Richie from Castle Hill. Let's go Yankees. I love you, Michael K. Yeah.
Michael K.
They legit be losing their mind calling the Michael K show. And it'd be like, yo, listen, man, I'm Mikey. I'm Mikey from Concourse. I've been a Yankees fan since 1987. I have a Gary Sheffield tattoo on my neck.
Wow.
Really?
Wade Boggs. Wade Boggs.
Hey, so let me can I just want to do a Yankee disc before I go, bro. I just want to do one Yankee disc before I go, okay?
Oh God.
What?
Here we go.
Shout out to everybody that purchased Danny Tartable jerseys.
Danny
I appreciate y'all. I appreciate everybody that purchased Danny Tartable jerseys. I know.
What was that second baseman? What was that second baseman we signed from Minnesota?
Chuck Knobloch.
Chucky Knobloch.
I appreciate all the Yankees fans that bought Steve Sachs jerseys.
Hey, I'm gonna recycle some jokes from earlier, Freezy. But shout out to all the Mets fans that brought a Kaz Matsui jersey, right? Or all the Met fans.
Oh,
you understand? The Steve Traxel jerseys that's out there in a land ditch somewhere, in a landfill somewhere.
And he died. Oh my God!
Yo, y'all need to put together the Mets versus the Yankees.
Oh, the Benny Bayani jerseys.
Word. The Armando Benitez that's in the landfill somewhere.
The Roberto Alomar jerseys. What else we got?
How are you a pitcher and you can't? How are you a pitcher and you can't see, bro? Benitez.
He can get punched in the face though. If you remember, he got punched in the face by Darryl Strawberry. He could take a punch.
Yeah, he that's his claim to fame. Iron Jaw.
Yo, who was
I'm
the
Iron Jaw
from the Pittsburgh Pirates that y'all thought was the next?
Oh, you talking about? Jay, you talking about Jason Bay? They thought was gonna be an all-star.
Bay.
That's what you talking about. That's what you talking about.
Yeah, who was the second baseman who had second baseman who couldn't
I'm sorry, Freezy. I'm sorry.
Freezy. Then you get a second baseman who couldn't throw the ball to first base.
Oh, Chucky Knobloch. They had to move him to the outfield.
Yeah, I'll tell you this much though. This deal gets done, all those kids are gonna go back to Dick's Sporting Goods and hand in their Kyrie and KD jersey. Go get the Donovan Mitchell one.
Oh, that is a fact, Jay. That is a
fact.
Wow.
They'll come right back on board. Be like, hey guys, how y'all been?
Don't come back. Don't come back.
Hey, and shout out to all those Yankee teams that finished in third place in the East behind the Red Sox and Blue Jays because they thought
that was in the 80s because that wasn't no time soon. Yeah, that wasn't in the
that was in the 80s. That was in the 80s. Yeah, when the Red Sox legit were the best at finishing in second place. They made it an art, bro. They would be in first and lose the last 10 games of the season so they could finish
that's when
second.
they gifted you a World Series. You know, the first baseman, he saw the ball coming and he was like, you know what, I'm gonna just let it go. I feel bad for the Mets. I feel bad.
He was hurt though, bro. He was hurt. He was all they could afford at first base. They didn't want to pay nobody to play first base.
Shout out to the Mets for making Bobby Bonilla Dave really famous.
Oh yeah, that's
okay. Now that's where you got to draw the line, bro. That's below the belt, bro. No punching people in the privates, bro. Come on, bro. You got to punch people in the privates virtually. You got to virtually punch somebody in the private part.
Kick.
Yes. Oh, that's below the belt, bro. That is below the belt, bro. I mean, come on. I mean, I was gonna give the Yankees props for like the Aaron effing Boone grand slam against Tim Wakefield. You know what I'm saying? Like the Red Sox, come on, bro. You can't pitch a guy like 5 days in a row, really. Even if he's a knuckleballer, you can't just throw a guy like 5 or 6 days in a row.
Hey, listen, do you know what my favorite memory is? 2006, Beltran at the bat, Game 7 of the NLCS. That pitch come from Wainwright, and he just took it. And look, that right there,
curveball.
It's a moment that lives in baseball history for the rest of my life.
Right. Hey man, but the Mets got the Ruben Tejada day. No, they got that little hit.
Hey, and you know what? You know what we got out of that? You know what we got out of that, right? We got Zach Wheeler out of that. Thank you very much.
And he in Philly right now.
Who's in Philly right now?
He's in Philly.
Who won a Cy Young with the Phillies, right?
Right. Yeah, no doubt. But we got Zach Wheeler for Carlos Beltran from the San Francisco Giants.
Yes,
right. And for people like you, but R.A. Dickey, he was cutting the ball. That's why I moved. But you know what we got out of trading R.A. Dickey to the Blue Jays?
Yeah,
Travis Darno
the World
and Noah
Series
Syndergaard.
champions catcher for the Atlanta Braves. That's what you
we got him and Noah Syndergaard. Right, no doubt. Okay,
we could do this all day, Freeze. I got time. That took off from work.
Yeah. Oh, but you know what?
He got time today.
You know what else we can do? You know what else we can do? We can also talk about Gerald Williams in center field, right, for the Yankees. Look, I want to play Daryl. Bernie Williams is not ready to play center field yet. We got to do name Daryl Williams and Deion Sanders. We're not gonna play Bernie Williams in center field. Who wears number 51?
Oh man!
Right. And what about Melky Cabrera? How about that? Now take that.
Wow, I know that.
Oh wow,
Juicing.
he went. Oh
Juicing.
wow,
Juicing.
Wow.
Yeah,
juicing. What about Everybody Loves Ike Davis? He had one good year and disappeared. What happened to Everybody Loves Ike? Come on, Beasley, I got this all day, baby.
We're not gonna talk about the Robinson Cano trade, or we're just gonna let that be.
Yeah.
Edwin Diaz after 4 seasons is finally looking good. It's finally looking good.
Shots.
Oh my goodness, bro. What about Jack McDowell? Jack McDowell? Anybody love some Jack?
That was before my time.
Okay. What about Kevin Brown? Okay, Kevin Brown's probably preferred. Oh, you know what? What about Mariano Rivera against the Arizona Diamondbacks? I loved that, bro. I love to see his face when he blew a save against a team that wore purple and gold. Like, what? Y'all can't get real baseball colors? Y'all just can't wear red and white? Y'all can't get real baseball colors? Y'all out here wearing pasteling it up? Yeah.
Hey, shout out to the
Ain't no shots to Mike Piazza.
Shout out to the Mets for being up by like 7 games with like 3 days to go, and they still lose the
Oh yeah, yeah. You talk about Jose Reyes 0 for 20 when he was partying in Washington Heights against the Marlins.
Wow,
that was hard. Jose Reyes that weekend series. Jose Reyes is dragged out of a nightclub in Washington Heights when they had that series against the Marlins.
Wow,
I appreciate y'all for bringing that up.
Love you, man. I gotta go too.
Yeah, I gotta get out of here, y'all. Let's go.
You should have shot A-Rod. Why you shot Derek Jeter?
Derek Jeter is so overrated, bro. Derek Jeter is the most fortunate baseball player of all time, bro.
Hey, he got the rings and he got the wins. That's all that matters.
And he's got
a homegrown New Yorker.
He's from New Jersey.
And Obi. Well, okay, close enough. We give some Jersey people credit. Tri-state area.
Okay.
He's a Yankee fan who became a Yankee superstar, like Mitchell and Obi will be, and get a ring for them too.
Hey, Anthony, that's a perfect way to put Obi up there to be a superstar. Heard you.
Thank you very much.
Now the only thing we have to do with Obi is a Saturday morning cartoon and a Broadway play.
Damn, they're gonna put
Obi and his super friends. Obi and his super friends.
Obi with Sesame Street.
All right.
Emmanuel quickly is gonna be like Garf.
Yo, who's gonna be Groucho, the garbage can dude?
Oscar.
Oh, that's Tibbs. That's Tibbs. That's Tibbs all day. That's Tibbs. Tibbs is the garbage man, dude.
Yo, y'all crazy, man.
Love you, Freezy. I gotta go.
Y'all crazy, man.
We will reconvene later.
So, Anthony, love y'all. Later, y'all. Salute the chatters.